Oh my gosh. Caitlin, I'm live. Hey, everybody coming in. Wow. Wow, 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 right? Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Hold on. Let me, I'm switching, some, settings real quick. Just take 30 seconds here. This is insane. I knew something was up, guys. I knew it. I knew something was up. You guys, Trev just posted this, and yeah, my phone's been blowing up. Oh my God. Cam was arrested for child abuse, guys. This incident happened back in July. July 22nd. But he was arrested for some reason not till the 26th. Abingdon. Oh my God. Child abuse, disregard for life. Family offense, gross, wanton, or reckless care for child. 2 charges of that. Oh my God. You guys, this incident happened back in July. So what's up with what is up with Allie? Cam from Kraken cases has been charged with 2 counts of class 6 felony child abuse with disregard for life. Now it's all starting to make more sense, right? Those late night calls for money. He's such a hypocrite, dude. Such a fucking hypocrite. It just makes me so mad. I could just scream. I just found this out, guys, so I'm still like shook by it, and I'm mad because of him really seriously having the audacity to say what he said about me, about that cotton situation. Oh, I don't know if Ziggy made it up because maybe she's in a really hard spot. I know she's struggling financially, and who knows what she would do. You guys, this keeps happening surrounding the people who support the Wells. Not that I'm not saying that's going to happen to you if you support the Wells. What I'm saying is that these are the kind of people that flock together. Wow. And Allie, like, oh my God, why hasn't she been live and addressing this? Like, what the hell, dude? What, are you going to stay with his abuser? This is insane. Who wants to come up and fucking bitch about this with me? Oh, Justin does. Also, I'll pin that link so you guys can find it easier. Also, I wanted to add. Okay, so it's pinned to the top, Justin. You could also, I guess, text it to him. Um, oh, there he is. Sorry, it doesn't. This doesn't. Are you there?
Yep.
Okay. Oh my God, this is crazy. Also, I want to say too, real quick, that I did talk to Fred for those of you guys who were on my Empress Ziggy, and that's a whole lie. Don and Candace did not fucking go visit Fred in jail to ask him about Cotton. That's a whole lie. I'm the only person that has visited Fred Hill. His sister for 3 minutes, but then she dropped.
It's Virginia. Um,
Who's Yeah, go ahead. I don't know who this Beth is. Who's Beth in that
I,
background?
this happened in July. I heard something was happened, but I didn't know what. Um,
Yeah, knew that something was going on because it didn't make sense for, that she just like lost her job. Like she wasn't gonna, it didn't make sense. And I kept looking because I kept looking and checking his record. I didn't see anything on his record because I checked his record like a couple months ago because I was like, I
hold on.
knew something was up. I checked him and Allie's.
I'm gonna forward you something.
And actually, I think I talked to you about it, and I don't think we found anything. So this is a yeah. That's what's on the screen, Justin. Well, it's right here, anyways.
Okay.
Um,
Okay. Let's look up the definition of disregard. This really breaks my heart, guys.
it, it yeah,
Okay.
abusive child disregard for life. It's a class 6 felony, so it's a low felony. But it says the defendant's status released to parent or responsible adult.
I wonder if he was released to the mother that he despises, because that is what he said in one of those lives, the recent lives he had, is his mother was Satan and he hated her. And
Okay.
I,
So the 18.2
Yeah,
3711, a Virginia law states that any guardian, parent, or individual responsible for caring for a child who willingly exposes the child to severe injury or refuses to offer the child necessary care is guilty of child abuse and neglect. The child must be below 18 years of age or older for the law to take effect. This is the most serious child abuse charge in Virginia.
it is. That's what it says.
And it is a class 4 felony carrying up to 10 years in the penitentiary.
Yeah, I thought that was a good idea to pull that up when you did that. So I don't know if this is where you were reading it from, but this is a government site right here, so it's legitimate. Says any parent, guardian or other person responsible for the care of a child under the age of 18 who, wait, let's see. This one's A. Does it say on his charge if his, like, is there any, let's see. Let me go and check real quick on his again. It doesn't say specifically if it's like, it just says 18.2 and 371. Okay. 18.2. Any parent, guardian, or other person responsible for the care of a child under the age of 18 who, by willful act or willful omission or refusal to provide any necessary care for the child's health. Okay. For purposes of this subsection, serious injury includes but is not limited to disfigurement, a fracture, a severe burn or laceration, mutilation, maiming, forced indigestion of dangerous substances, and life-threatening internal injuries.
I'm asking my girlfriend who works for CPS right now what.
Okay.
I was getting ready to go live.
Oh.
No. And then I was like, well, let me text Ziggy. And then they said, boom, you went live. I was like, okay, cool, let's go here. Because I really didn't want to go live, but I was going to. Y'all in chat. This is not his first felony either, is it?
No.
Felony. He said that he wanted to move. Yeah, he was saying he wanted to move to Tennessee recently. He's charged with a class 6, 2 counts.
Yeah, they got all that money to move to Tennessee. They were going to move and make a new life for themselves. But there was no mention of the children ever in his life. And he said he wasn't going to speak about anything until everything was ironed out. Well, I think it's ironed out now.
Justin, are you wanting to go live?
No.
You don't want to, really?
No.
Because I wasn't going to. I just, decided to.
You're live. Too late.
I know, but, yeah, I'm getting messages from people, and
yeah,
I don't know. Some people I think are worried about it causing it. I don't know, this causing problems for. I don't know, you guys. I just got a text about somebody worried that it would cause problems for them, as far as
mental health problems
and stuff. Yeah, but in the mental health and stuff. But I think the least amount. I think I'm going to probably deal with it a lot better than most would probably. Okay.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Huh?
I don't get it.
It's just a text. Never mind. Sorry. His rep sheet is longer than Dawn and Candace put together. Drop Trev time link to this. Yeah, drop his link, guys, or Trev's link. For sure, because Trev was the one that put it out. I'm not sure how old the children are. That's all probably confidential and stuff, but. Oh, you're talking about, yeah. I mean, it's. I guess I don't know. From what I've heard is, he's denying it.
Who's denying it?
Cam, I guess.
Oh, he's like Dawn.
Well, I mean,
there's really little I can say. That's why I'm saying
he is innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. I mean,
yes, I agree with you on that.
He's absolutely innocent until proven guilty in the court of law.
Okay.
Is he out? I'm not sure.
I'll accept that.
He's not been charged. I mean, he's been charged, but he hasn't been convicted.
But he's still, I had bad vibes about him. I had bad vibes about him in the beginning.
Well, I mean,
And now I know why.
I understand that, and I get that.
He gave
Truly,
me
trust.
he gave me icky feelings.
His willful act of omission of the care of the child is. I didn't have any bad feelings about them at all until that time that he um that time that he said that stuff, Well, when he started hanging out with the circle jerks and stuff, and I was like, wow, it's like that. Hold on one second, guys. Can Justin take over? Sorry.
Justin, I don't disagree with you on the innocent until proven guilty, but he's just always been so shady to me. I'm sorry. He's just been.
No, I understand. I mean,
he always gets so angry when people disagree with him or tell him that that's not the right thing he said. You know what I'm saying?
no,
Like,
I trust me. I understand that. So child neglect, a class 6 felony in Virginia is class 6 felony and is punishable up to 5 years in jail and a fine of 2,500 or a fine and jail time. The main people that we should be worrying about, in this is the children, and that's
exactly.
some children unfortunately are failed, and some thankfully are taken out of these deplorable situations.
Okay, sorry about that. That was it. Had nothing to do with what we're talking about. But anyways, Cam was arrested. Yeah, personally don't care what happened, but apparently his record does say child abuse. I just noticed a change recently with them, and that's probably right around the time actually. I guess it would have been no, it would have been about. Let's see, Fred was arrested in June. It was June around that time. June, even or May, June. That I started noticing that they were acting different.
I started back when I started noticing before Tiffany even went on his live that time and confronted him about being, messed up on his live, and he got really mad and of course made a bunch of excuses and stuff. But it was obvious, and it was obvious on several of his lives. I don't know how some of the people didn't see it. I mean, he was a mess.
I think anybody could see it. I think people were.
I don't think Tiffany
hoping for the best.
I didn't see him. I didn't notice anything like that until. No, I didn't. Like when people were saying he was on drugs and stuff like that. I didn't think so. Like at first, I thought he was
watch him a lot.
Regular medicine that he was because he even said he was taking Suboxone and benzos. So I know that could do it, but then I think
he was doing mixing a little methamphetamines in there. He was mixing a little bit because he was asleep but jumpy as heck. Like knocking stuff down.
Sorry, my daughter's in here trying to talk to me at the same time, and it's like I'm trying to. But yeah, it was this summer when they started blaming Prayer Garden was when I noticed a change. I don't know.
He would be like falling asleep and then knocking things down and then jumping around, and then that one eye just kept going closed. I don't know. It would not stay open. This started about a year ago that I started seeing signs.
PG.
Oh, they blamed her that PG called Allie's work and got Allie fired. I think it's amazing how some YouTubers can just call your work and then you're fired. It just blows my mind.
No.
People call on Dawn, or do you think the YouTubers get Dawn fired? They get Allie fired. They get everybody fired. I don't have a job, so nobody can fire me. Are you there?
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm here. Sorry, my daughter isn't here.
I'm trying to get.
That's all good.
I wasn't gonna go live at all, like, because I had. That's why I got off Empress Ziggy, because I'm busy. But
I
like,
hope Allie is
that's why I asked
okay.
if Justin wanted to go live.
Okay.
I asked Caitlin to hold on.
Wow.
He has been convicted of it before. Ginger
Of
Snap
what?
said
Of what?
child abuse.
Alleged. I don't know. Not that. I mean, never really pulled anything so far.
I was trying to unmute there for a second. Craig is one of the ones who was. Yeah, he signed a non-disclosure, but I don't think that non-disclosure means anything. I signed one too. I thought it was a bunch of BS. Like, I was like, whatever.
Hey,
You know.
RJ, come up.
Meant to me.
Hey, I'm gonna drop down and then I'll come back up later if you're still on. I got to take care of some stuff.
Okay.
I think it probably has to do with. Holy hell. He's got a lot of mug shots.
Oh yeah, I know they were. That's another thing is that was shown on here. Yeah, all these mugshots from, but they're all from 2019 and earlier. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Which,
they
I
are.
mean,
I mean,
that's
that's not
really
too long ago.
But he's young, somewhat. I mean, well, that's too bad because I always thought that they were good people, and I mean that doesn't mean that they're not. Still, I don't know. The truth always comes to light. I was so sad about the stuff like they were painting me as, and how they teamed up with circle jerks and stuff. I mean, but now it just makes sense. Like,
Is Trev in here?
did the mod share Trev's channel?
I have no
Huh.
idea.
Did Cam hang out with the Wells before Summer went missing?
No.
No.
You know, when they Allie and Cam came to YouTube, you know, they looked like such a cute, wholesome little couple. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You could tell he was, you know, he was clean and was doing really good, and I think,
Oops, go ahead.
you know, it just kind of went downhill.
I'm just confused how come he was just arrested when this incident was in July? I'm very confused. Because does that mean he was on the run or what?
I don't know.
Hello, hello.
Hey, RJ.
Hey.
Because offense date, July 22nd, 2023, but the arrest date was the 26th.
Guys, please drop Trev Times channel mods.
Yeah, here's the link to his I don't know. I'd have to, if Birdie, if I can go back like that.
That's what I'm thinking. That's always late, so that's what I'm thinking. That's why they decided the van life.
Yes.
Interesting.
Right before or right after I joined, somebody was questioning whether or not they were on the run, which goes with what you were saying, Justin. Uh, it's very possible that they knew about this investigation and they were trying to stall it out. And the CPS and the police believe they had enough information or evidence to press charges
Well,
just to force the investigation further or continue the investigation if they're not cooperating.
I don't know. I think it would have been best for them to come on because, from my understanding, I think he's out.
This is sad.
I think he's out because it says released to parent or responsible adult, which is weird because he's an adult. But yeah, it is.
I mean, anybody should, it's.
I hate to say it, but that charge is saying abuse child, disregard life.
Mm-hmm.
That's real bad.
Yeah.
That it's not like they felt it was excessive punishment. Disregard of life means that there was a dangerous situation that they showed absolutely no care about.
Yeah, and I know I keep saying they too, but it's really just Cam from, I keep saying they because but I wish they would have came out and talked about this, got in front of it and
Yeah,
stuff.
that would have been the best thing in my opinion.
Yeah, because I think that he is out from what it looks like, and it probably would have been better instead of trying to like clean up what people, with their theories and stuff. I don't know. It's just sometimes better to get in front of these things. This is, yeah. Wow, no wonder they left for a couple months. You know what I mean? Like, now it makes sense because I was thinking, well, they need money so bad. And, they make such good money online on YouTube. Why aren't they live? I mean, they make really good money, way more than I do on here. And because people, I don't know, it's different. It's a couple. They love them. They come in together, and but they love. So it didn't make sense that they weren't coming live and making money because it sounded like they were struggling. And then,
well, it makes sense now.
Yeah.
Lay low, lay under the radar. And I'm not, want to be clear, I'm not here to criticize Cam or Allie in any way, shape, or form.
I would have came on and explained it first because now I don't want to I don't know. See who's this? I'm not sure who this is.
Well, we just need to be, praying. If you pray, are good thoughts for the kids, and hopefully things get worked out. I don't know. It's sad. I don't want to. I don't know. I don't.
Who's the person that has 777 in their name? Is that Nicolina?
Yeah.
Yeah, she was just trying to come up, I think. You can come up, it's fine. People are still subscribed to them, giving them money, and they still don't go live. Yeah. I think there's going to be a lot of really disappointed people because they really believed in them. And if this is something like some big misunderstanding or something, like somebody trying to cause problems if it is something like that, he should have just I don't know why he didn't come out and talk about it. Just would have been the best thing unless he was hiding.
Not only that, come out and say I'm not only that, but come out and say that I'm not going into the details of this, but I'm going to be turning myself in. I need to address this with the courts and work this out with the courts and not on YouTube. It would have been the best case scenario of all.
Yeah, I guess that's true that he would have to be careful what he says online. Too, so. But.
You know, I'm not here to condemn or anything. I just pray for all involved, you know.
Absolutely.
Whether it's, you know, a misunderstanding or not, they are a family, and I pray that they can, you know, get it worked out. Cam made a post, Brittany just said.
Yeah, that's what I was looking for. Here we go. Hold on.
Unless there is some extreme circumstances where the child is an obvious signs of neglect and things like that, I feel bad for a family in any circumstances to be going through that.
Yeah, so this is what they say. It says, we are writing this post to let you guys know what we have been going through that I've been telling you about. My mother went and lied and said we were on drugs, just like people had done before when calling CPS, and went and filed emergency custody order saying that we were on drugs and we were going through an eviction, and they granted her custody till a later date. That was back in August. I got an eviction dismissed in court, and after her finding out that it was dismissed, I then was arrested for this, saying that I had done drugs in the house where the kids were. If you have followed us and know anything about us, you know that we are not those kind of people, and I will get this thrown out of court and my children back. I promise you that. My mom is doing this to try to get money from the state. She lost her job the day before taking my children. If you've heard my testimony and know anything about my mother, she's an evil person and will do anything for money. She has hurt me in my entire life, and now she's trying to do it by taking my children. She has no regard for her own children, and we are fighting her in court for this. I'm asking if you believe in us and you know who we are, then you know this is not true. I don't know, Cam. I don't know if I can believe you. I'm sorry.
I mean,
I'm not done reading, but go ahead. I just want to let people
go ahead. Go ahead and finish.
No. Go ahead. I want you to go. I just want to let you
No,
guys.
I'm just saying, like, they drug test you, the CPS.
Yeah.
I'm holding my comment for the end as well. So I do have a big comment right now, but
Yeah, I didn't mean that. I didn't mean that rude. I meant that, like, just to let you guys know there is more if you want to hear it first, but we can
want to hear it first.
Go ahead.
Definitely
Okay.
want to hear first.
Okay, it says, I'm asking if you believe in us and you know who we are, then you know this is not true. We have failed no drug screens for CPS, and they are pulling at straws to try and make this stick. We're going through one of the hardest battles and tribulations of our life. I never thought my mother would do this to me or my children, because my children are happy and loved. Just because someone is charged with something doesn't mean that they are convicted of it. And I'm asking y'all to please stand behind us as we go through this, and you will see that there is no fact in our allegations against us. Me and my wife are good people, and we are good parents, and always have been, and would never ever hurt our children. And even if a parent was on drugs, it does not mean they are a bad parent. But once again, like I said, this is not true, and I will have this proven in court and dismissed. They placed the children with my mother, who has been charged and convicted of distribution of drugs, amongst other things, and I will continue to fight. We're having CPS investigated as they advised my mom to pretty much kidnap my children when she had no custody at all over them. These are all lies. I swear to God in heaven, my Heavenly Father, who I pray to every time we're on a live stream, and I place my whole heart and trust in Him, my trust and truth in Him, as He knows the truth about my wife and I. God bless, and I hope you will wait to see the outcome. I don't know. I would have liked the same grace from him when I was dealing with Jim's passing, but I can't be like that. Go ahead, RJ.
Cracking cases, if you are listening, you need to take that post down. 3/4 of that information needs to be taken out of there because it's not necessary and it will be damaging to you.
Mm.
You only need to be saying, we apologize, but we need some personal time and space. We are dealing and working with the court system over allegations that have been pressed through or are being charged through the courts. End it at that, because this is going to not only cause a rift in your family that you need to work out, but this is damaging to your situation.
Yeah, it's damaging to getting your, working to get your children back as well. You're wholeheartedly claiming things as fact, and it, like RJ said, it's best to just say, you know what, we are working through personal problems. Please keep us in your prayers, and leave it at that.
Right. To put in there that it's involving the court system is fine, but don't go into any more details. Get rid of all of that other stuff because it's going to come back on you.
Yes.
Yeah, so maybe I gave the wrong advice about saying that I wish that they would have came out themselves about it. They could have did a post like RJ was talking about, and not have, because they had to lie to people in order to carry this out for this long, because they've known about this since July, at least. I'm guessing.
Well,
he just said August, but
I don't think there was nothing wrong with what you said. I mean, but I think, it's best to just say, we are going through, just like they said pretty much before, you may see something come out. Just keep us in your prayers.
Right. No, Ziggy, you're right. They should have been ahead of this. But what we're saying is what they're saying here. It's just way too much information. And somebody in your chat said it does come across as like Don Wells Jr.
It does.
This statement does come out badly. Then that's what I think I can agree. I can say without any hesitation or without Justin disagreeing. It's just too much information. It looks like it's in bad taste or bad airing of a grievance.
Mm.
And it just 3/4 of that is not necessary.
Oh, I'm sure there is more to it, guys. I'm sure there's always his side, CPS's side, his mom's side, then the truth. It's like, I mean, he's already he's already fibbed to everybody about what was going on because he had to cut.
I will send you something, Ziggy.
Okay. He had his fib to, because I understand you don't want to put something like trust and believe, but when you're secretive, it makes you look shady. It's just, I don't know, but at the same time, I agree too. You don't want to put too much out there.
Right.
I get that they're in a hard spot and stuff, and maybe his mom is trying to cause some problem stuff, but I would think it would take more than somebody, stating something.
Initially, they were blaming, like you were saying, weren't they blaming Prayer Garden?
Yeah. For losing her job. Well, for YouTube calls, yeah. So they were blaming YouTube for her losing her job, and now it's, is that really perplexed? Let me put.
It's me.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Hey. Thanks for coming over here.
You're welcome. I heard Justin on panel. Justin, check your text.
Laura.
And what I wanted to add, though, is a lot of this could have been avoided. And a lot of this I place on subs, and I'm going to explain why. In Labor Day of 2022, may have been 2021, I called them both out, and I was shunned from the entire SW community for doing so. And subs stood behind him. Subs gave him money. They said I was crazy. And the bottom line was, I saw this a long time ago.
Right. You're
calling
you're
out.
you're an ex addict yourself, right? Just like myself.
No, because I got slammed for calling
Weren't you
for
an addict at one
saying
time though? Don't you? Didn't you? Oh,
yes,
yeah. So you can see these things, right?
absolutely. And I
And I
called it
can
out. I
too,
was
but
livid.
at first I believed him that it was his Suboxone and Xanax and stuff. But then his behavior got like worse. Both of theirs behavior got, and since this past summer, I really noticed a change. But yeah, just like I feel the same about. I don't know how you feel about Benny Keys, but I feel the same about him and
Oh
his
God.
people encouraging his behavior. Like he's the one
I
that's going to
agree.
end up getting in trouble for his behavior and stuff, and have to do time for it. Not anybody else. They just want entertainment and see him to.
But
They
the
just want.
difference is though, Benny doesn't have young kids. He did, what Benny does, Benny's an adult. He's got adult children, or at least no young kids that live in the house.
Not
And
anymore because his wife left him, but
yeah, but Cam and Allie have young kids, and he was that. I honestly, I think when I called him out, it was at the beginning because I mean I haven't watched them, but I heard they're 10 times worse and than they were back then, and so I can only imagine. But I do know he dropped a shitload of weight, and I
and
just
he
I
was
don't
wearing
understand.
long sleeves at the 1 year Summer Wells.
Oh yeah,
It was like 100 degrees outside.
you met him in
No,
person, didn't you,
Yeah,
Ziggy? Yeah.
yeah. They
no
seemed
shit.
nice and stuff, and Allie seemed completely. She didn't seem like she was on drugs, anything at all. But he was in long sleeves, and it kind of seemed weird to me. Just how he wore those gloves on his lives and stuff too. To me, I thought he was trying to cover up track marks. I don't know. That's just. I mean, I just know all the tricks in the book. Now, I was an IV user, but I could tell that something was not right, and both of them I thought were using as of this summer.
I
I
agree.
even talked to people
I
outside
agree.
here that I thought so, but before that, I didn't think so.
Oh
I,
no, when I called them out, they were both
Yeah,
100%. They were
probably were. You're
both
probably right. They
using.
probably were. I I didn't never I never saw Allie messed up until recently, but I didn't watch him much though either. So
I used to watch them up until the 1 year anniversary, or 1 year mark, whatever you want to call it. And the way they treated and the way they the ceremony, or the what Robin had in the church had going, and the way he walked through right through the middle of what was going on, as if he was above and what their own agenda or what their purpose was there, acting like it was above what was going on, and that it just it ruined me for anything for what they say.
oh, was this something that was put online, or is this something that was just you witnessed? Um,
Well, there was
in
two
person?
cameras. There was two cameras on opposite sides of, and I don't remember if they were there at the time that it happened or recording at the time that it happened. But Cam and Allie and a few other people, and I don't remember who it was exactly, during that what the church had put together, walked right through the middle of the circle, as if it was not anything significant, and went over to the waterfront, and they hung out there. And again, about three quarters of the way through, they walked back to their car and were asking people to move, to leave. And I believe they were being recorded at the least at that moment. There was cameras being live.
Yeah.
So I've always been suspect of them, but I didn't know about this.
No,
And
I started looking into their background this past summer because I just knew something. I knew that something was up. I kept checking their see if they were arrested because I knew that they weren't being honest, and because I was just curious, and I didn't think they were being honest about the prayer garden calling CPS or calling her work and stuff like that. I don't
see,
believe
but
that she
they
probably
want
did
to
call, but huh?
they want to sit there and blame YouTube. CPS doesn't take your children based on a YouTube phone call. They have to have actual proof. And for whoever wrote that post, which is probably Allie, because Cam can't form a sentence like that. But for Allie to write that post saying, "Oh, we'll get him back," yeah, I hope you will, but he's got to go to drug rehab first, or you both do. But yeah, they don't take kids based on a YouTube call. Just like
Right.
people don't lose their job based on a YouTube call. Yeah,
Yeah.
it may bring CPS to your house, but CPS needs to find something in order to take your children.
Yeah, and it would look like this is what I know. Here, I was gonna pull this up, and it would look. This is what it would look like when CPS comes to your house.
Oh, good God.
2 days ago at my house, or Friday night, from YouTube.
I was actually going to reference that, and I didn't want to be bringing your personal information into this.
Yeah. So yeah, I've had CPS out here so many times, and usually they just close it. Like,
Yeah. I've had 5 calls too, thanks to YouTube.
yeah.
And
If you
every
don't have
single
anything
one
to
of
worry
them.
about, you don't have anything to worry about. You know what I mean? Of course, it's an annoyance.
Exactly.
It's an annoyance, but I'd rather them not coming here pilfering through my things or looking through my shit. And I don't know. It seems that it was a little uncomfortable because they come in and it's what it is. But it is what it is. But as long as you're doing the right thing, you don't have anything to worry about. But a lot of people on here though, love to make it as difficult as possible for you though.
But I don't, with him though, specifically, like me, mine was done in malice. Yours was done in malice. I don't think his were ever done in malice. I could be wrong, but I think his community saw a genuine concern,
Oh yeah, there was
and
those that had definite concern. Yeah.
and he wasn't listening. And this goes back 2 years or a year. I don't remember. I'd have to look up the video I did, but I think it was, I know it was Labor Day or Memorial Day. I believe it was 2021 or 2022.
I'm going to make this comment as well, and you guys can take it for what it is. I work in healthcare.
It was Memorial Day. One of my Patreons just said it was Memorial Day 2022.
I work in healthcare, and I've told my employer what I do online, and that I talk about missing kids. If you work in healthcare, and as long as you are not breaching HIPAA laws or accessing information that you should not be accessing, they do not care what you say. My channel, people have asked me my opinion of different things related to medical, and I tell them I can't answer that because of that. If you're consistently bringing that information up, you become a liability, and they would then have reason for termination. But
so you're saying oh, sorry. Go ahead.
But to simply go online and have a channel and talk about missing kids is not something that's going to get you terminated from healthcare.
100%. I said the exact same thing. It's not going to get you terminated from anywhere.
Yeah,
Even
they said
if someone calls,
because
like, who cares?
They said because they were harassing her at the called so much that the place just got tired of it. I don't even think that's legal to do.
Yeah, it's not. I mean, it depends. A company can fire you for any reason, except the fact that she was a nurse. You can get a job anywhere. If you left because of some stupid ass reason, you can get a job anywhere in the world. Nurses are like in high demand. You can work at a hospital. You can work at a doctor's office. Like, I never bought that either. I always thought that was full of shit. I'm like, she's not going to get fired as a nurse because of YouTube. Give me a break.
Apparently his mother saw a problem, and that's someone inside, not a YouTuber.
Well, yeah, but if his mom really has a past with drugs too, I don't know how much I want to.
That's not good. No, I don't know how
distributing and stuff, and I do know that there is.
But I do know that when you do foster care for your grandchildren, now I know this, you get a background check just like every other foster parent.
Exactly.
You get fingerprinted, you get checked, because I am a foster parent for my grandchildren. I don't like to say that I'm a foster because they're my grandchildren at the end of the day. The other part is just because of other bad circumstances that I'm not going to talk about on here. Ziggy knows some of them. But at the end of the day, and Ziggy knows what happened to my one grandson, and no one was charged for that. So whatever Cam did wasn't good.
Yeah, but you're right though, because I have a friend that recently had to foster her grandkids, and it went through like a lot of people, but they had to get a background check. They had to get all
Absolutely.
this stuff done and drug
Yes.
testing, and it took a couple of weeks. Like
Yes,
it
you have to
wasn't
get a
automatic.
lot. It's just like doing regular foster care. You have to have the same thing done. You have to have a home study. They have to come in. They have to make sure all the children have bedding. They have to make sure they have plenty of food. They have to make sure everything is good and kosher.
Mm-hmm.
They will not allow you to, they're not just going to hand kids over to somebody all willy-nilly.
Yep.
They will even go as far as getting a psychological eval if they think it's necessary.
Absolutely, yes.
Yeah, because I even said to her, I was like, it's your grandkids. Why? She's like, because it's going through the state. So they have to go through every single thing that if we were just regular foster parents. I was
Absolutely.
like, wow. So yeah, when her post about mom's on drugs, look, she's got your kids. Why are you trying to discredit her? Like,
If she had a past drug conviction, it must not have been a very deep or heavy one. I mean,
or
it might have
recent.
been just weed or something at
Or a long,
CPS.
long time ago or something. But Yulva, I don't know how, I always say her name wrong, but Yulva is right. It is really the people, the victims and all this is the kids. Like,
Absolutely.
it's got to be.
But Cam, like Donald, wants to paint himself as a victim instead of owning
Yep.
what he has done.
Yep.
Whether it is as bad as they're making it out to be, it might be mild. Either way, you got to own it, buddy. If you don't own it, you can't fix it. You're going to be right where Donald and Candace are.
And what does that have to do? What is, like, I didn't hear the whole thing, but what does his charge have to do with YouTube?
Well, he
Absolutely
said it
nothing.
started with YouTube calling CPS, and I guess his mother found out and said he was doing drugs in his house with the kids there, I guess. I really don't know. And that's how he got charged with what he got charged with, because apparently but I just don't think someone can say you're doing drugs in the house
No.
and that's enough.
I
No,
just
That's
got
just not enough.
a message real quick. It says they will charge someone. They said they don't want their name mentioned, but it said they will charge someone with simple possession of marijuana with those child abuse and disregard life charges as well. I would believe that if it wasn't in Virginia. Virginia is a legal state of so I don't believe that they would get child abuse for using marijuana.
Well,
No, CPS doesn't really care about marijuana any more than the president.
Well, then why are they in Virginia?
What's that?
When did they go to Virginia?
they live in Virginia.
Since when?
They live across the mountain.
I thought they lived in Tennessee.
Right
No,
next.
they live across the mountain from Tennessee in Virginia.
Oh,
They live in Virginia.
Wow, they always told me they lived in Tennessee.
No. They
Yeah.
live close. They don't live very far from the border, but they live in Virginia.
Oh, wow. Okay.
But I would believe the, child abuse charges and marijuana and stuff for just using marijuana. I'm not gonna say just. You should probably not use marijuana in front of your kids, okay? But I don't think it's just marijuana in this instance. I don't believe that at all.
Oh, absolutely.
That's
It
really
is
his
not
thing.
marijuana. It is
I don't
not
think
marijuana.
that's his thing.
That's
Oh.
always the go-to drug that everybody uses when they get caught with drugs.
Yep.
They always want to say it was just marijuana. And then you find out it was pills and everything else.
Right. So that's legal in Virginia, not legal in Tennessee.
Yeah.
And but here's the catch-22. You actually cannot be in a dwelling or a vehicle or
Right, doing that. Exactly.
or a public place in general if a kid is in that residence.
Exactly. You're exactly right.
Is that because I thought that pot had this when it's allowed? I thought pot had the same rules as alcohol.
I think that this is the case. What a CPS worker told me straight up one day, I asked her about marijuana and what CPS thought about it. And she said, if they ain't blowing it in the kid's face, we ain't worried about it.
Fair enough.
So somebody just sent me an interesting. It looks like his mom has commented on this.
Oh.
Um,
See, this
Oh,
is
and
what
let
I
me
was
just
saying.
add that
They
I
need
have
to.
my Sorry, RJ.
No, go ahead.
I have my grandchildren in foster care, and my children are very grateful to me, and they thank me. And I am proud of my children for getting better and doing better and owning what they did. But that's the truth. Why have hate for your mother? She just wants what's best for your children.
I agree.
So just going to backtrack a split second, then I'm going to comment on what Ziggy just said. Virginia has a separate law that says you cannot be smoking in the presence of a kid, a minor. So
Okay.
no matter if it's a legal or illegal drug, it's a separate law as well.
Is
And then
alcohol the same?
alcohol you can use in front of a kid. That's not an issue. It's just there's a ban on smoking of any substance, cigarettes, cigars,
Anything. Okay.
anything. Okay. And then going back, this is what I believe that Justin and myself, and Justin, please come back up here. We're saying about they need to take that post down because this is going to turn into an ugly rift. If she's feeling like she has to respond to this and publicly, it's turning into a nightmare already.
Okay. Well, if she's in active addiction, she don't know any different. And someone just said to me something that could be true. They could have drug tested the kids and found something. Not that the kids are doing drugs, but just being around them.
right.
Like methyl turn around and be in a kid's system.
Oh,
Pot would be in a kid's system.
Oh, you made a good. That's very possible because that would make sense. Because we were reading what this charge carries. That would make sense. But no, because if they got into drugs, that would be a separate charge, I would think. But that would count towards that charge, like a child abuse. The kid getting into drugs and then not taking them to the hospital.
No, I mean, if you smoke meth, even if you never smoked meth, if you're around in a meth house, you will test positive if they test your hair or something like that. So I'm thinking if they were doing meth in the house or they were smoking dope, that's gonna eventually, get on the kids. And it's very possible they did a hair test or something or a touch test that made them positive. Made the kids positive.
Yeah. They generally don't care from my source about necessarily what the parents do as long as it's not affecting the children, right? And so they can, as long as everything's clean in the house, everything's taken care of in the house, the children are not being neglected, not being abused, but those things generally don't go hand in hand with each other. You know what I mean? Usually if someone is doing mathematics in the house, right, then and if it shows up in a child's system, there's a problem.
Yeah, because I'm saying that my first CPS call from YouTube, they said that I was on drugs and my kids were 14. I mean, they weren't young kids at the time. They were 14, and 12. And I had to go down the next day and get a drug test. And they sat there and watched me pee. I had to go to it was by the police station. I don't remember. And I don't know if every state's like that, but obviously I came back negative. But I wonder if they had to do that, they came up positive, and then maybe they tested the kids.
I don't know.
That is a possibility, and that would it goes with that law about what I was mentioning about Virginia, that you can't smoke a cigarette in front of a kid in a car or in the house.
That is correct.
It would go right in hand in that. And Justin, thank you for coming back. I didn't want to presume I had a right to speak for you.
No, you're fine.
I think it was a fair point.
And yes, sir, this is active right now in Virginia.
You can't even smoke a cigarette technically in a car with kids.
Can you vape?
No.
No,
Really?
not technically. Yeah.
Mm.
That's false teaching, but no, they don't necessarily move for that is dirty urine. They put a safety plan. They can do a safety plan, but I'm talking about if it is in the child's system.
Because that's the only thing I could think of that they took the kids instantly. Like it wouldn't be one. I mean, I don't know
Well,
Virginia
he said
law.
his mother kidnapped him, that CPS had his mother kidnap the children. Isn't that what he
Yeah,
said?
that's total bullshit.
He didn't say
That's a Don Wells statement. I'm sorry.
Exactly.
it does.
Exactly.
It does sound like
Well said.
deja vu.
It sounds like they brothers.
But Laura, why do you think that did you see where the date of the incident was back in July, but he wasn't arrested till a few days ago?
No, I was asking Patreons. I was like, when was he arrested? I don't get it because I just heard Cam got arrested. Blah blah blah.
Yeah,
Well,
here.
it's
So I
a
don't know the
Commonwealth
details.
state too, so it may be a little different in their Commonwealth states are kind of crazy. Allie,
Is
what is
Virginia and
it?
West Virginia like the same rules?
No,
No,
No.
no,
no,
It's
I doubt
not.
it.
not at all.
West Virginia is a completely different state.
Yeah,
But we'll have to ask Dolly. Dolly
it's not
knows about
it's
Virginia
not a
laws.
Commonwealth either.
Oh yeah, like weed's not legal in West Virginia, and weed's legal in Virginia.
Medicinally, it's legal in West Virginia, but not recreationally.
Right, and that's like Tennessee. Well, I was bringing up Virginia and Tennessee. In Tennessee, the only thing that is legal is oil for medicinal use,
Okay.
not the plant at all.
Not flour, and that's the same in West Virginia. It is only the
Medical.
vapes. But you can purchase flour, but you have to use it in a vaporizer.
Wow.
See here where it shows offense date July 22nd, 2023, and then it says arrest date September 26th, 2023.
Maybe they couldn't find him?
That's what we were wondering, if did he go on a run or something? Is that why he was going to do this van life? Is that why they came up with the van life?
Oh, that's right. When did they say they were going to start the van life?
Probably right around that.
I was gonna say it was somewhere in about there.
Yeah.
Maybe may have been at the beginning of August.
Yeah, that's probably why. They probably did go on the run.
And they said that they were going to take, that the mom stepped in. Remember, the mom put a wrench in that plan, is what they said. And she wasn't, the family wasn't having it. And that's what he said. So that's why they didn't do it.
Is he still in jail?
Chat's saying it was actually at the end of August.
I don't think he is in jail. No, let me look on VineLink and I'll see.
I don't think he's in jail.
So he must have been on the run or something and decided to turn himself in. Maybe he just decided, or maybe he got pulled over, and that makes sense. No wonder he was saying he was wanting to get the hell out of Virginia. You guys remember that? He kept talking about how
moved to Tennessee.
Yeah, he was like, I want to get the hell out of Virginia. And he was like, I never want to come back and blah, blah, blah. When he came back like a week or two ago.
But I can't believe it took a year to catch up with him. If he was arrested in June, he had a full year that he was getting high and making money on YouTube, and nobody stopped it. Allie didn't stop it. His family didn't. Nobody stopped it.
I don't know. I don't want to say much.
Like, if you're on drugs, as I think we're all parents, I don't know. I would know if my kids were on drugs. And if they were, I would put an end to it immediately. I know they're adults and, you can't, but maybe the mom did take the kids because he was on drugs, and it's safer for the kids.
Well, I think that's, what happened. And I think that's why Cam is, writing, or they are writing this stuff on the wall for their community post.
And once again, with all over 1,000 people here, once again, just another announcement. Don Wells and Candace Wells did not go visit Fred in jail. That is another lie by Don Wells.
When did he say that?
I guess
Can't
yesterday or something. I don't know.
he
Today or
can't go
yesterday.
visit him in jail. He's a felon. Felons
Yeah,
can't
exactly. And
visit
he's on
felons.
probation too. So you can't go on probation to jail.
Yeah,
And,
no, he
and
can't.
Candace didn't go visit either.
We kind of figured that was not a possibility, or it was not
Yeah.
reality. It's just another thing that Don Wells conceives in his head.
Yeah, I had to ask Fred on that one.
Hold on. This says Rihanna Benson said Tree's post says Allie was arrested as well.
Whose post? Trev's Times?
They put Trees, but I don't know if it means Trev. Now I know that Allie has had a lot of CPS, and Allie's mother as well. I know that they're.
Wait, Allie's mom is a fuck up too?
Yeah.
Wow.
They said Tree is the name of the channel. They mean
I think they
Trev?
meant T-Rev. I think they meant T-Rev or Trev.
Oh. Yeah, it's not on.
I was going to say maybe you may need to refresh it because it may have been a separate post.
Okay,
I didn't know if T-Rev was a different person or if it was, Trev or T-Rev.
no, that's still the same post.
Well, if she was arrested, she could have a mugshot.
Yeah, I would think that he would post the mugshot if he said that.
I'll be right back. I'm gonna try to find something. I'll send it. I'm on my phone. I can't go other than it knocks me down. I'll be right back.
Well, she didn't mean that like that, because even Laura said herself that she's a recovered addict or recovering addict. So she's not talking bad about addicts or anything, because she's was one herself.
Oh, no. Let me tell you something. I said this on my live a couple of nights ago, and I'll say it on yours. I wear that shit proud. I am not embarrassed I'm an addict. I'm not ashamed that I'm an addict. I wear that shit proud, loud and proud. I am a recovered addict. I will always be an addict. I'm glad that I haven't touched drugs since 2008, but all the other addictive things in my life, it still hold true, and I wear that shit proudly. So yeah, I'm definitely not putting down an addict.
Yeah, me either, because I've been there.
And I'm going to throw my hat into that and say I'm not either. I've had my own issues with addiction. Granted, mine was alcohol and not other substances, but still, I've said, I say occasionally on my channel, I've said here as well, chasing a sober life is a daily, even sometimes minute by minute battle.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
So if he's trying to say it happened because of eviction, that's not true. Offense was in July. Eviction was September. Okay. Somebody texted me that and said that, I guess in here he's trying to say he was going through an eviction. His mom was saying.
He's been an addict for a long time.
Yeah, this offense was in July and his eviction wasn't until September. So I don't know how that would have, I don't know how that adds up.
But
he did say, huh?
I thought that they were evicted a long time ago. I didn't think it was this new. But I hear secondhand info, so I can only go by what I remember. But yeah, I remember.
I would think it was I would think it was before September too. And,
yeah.
But that was just a text. I would think at least August. That like the latest.
I would say the same thing in July, August, because it's been a while since I heard that. Cam and Allie got evicted. It was definitely not within the last couple of weeks. It was definitely before that.
Now they were talking about that. Yeah, it's been because they were talking about the van life and stuff.
I honestly want to say that had to be in August because it was about the time they started talking about and saying they were going on a trip and they were going to do the van life thing for a while. So I would want to believe that that's when that happened, the eviction side of it.
Or maybe they were getting evicted, but they weren't out of the house yet. Like, evictions can
Yeah.
take time.
It's a process. Yeah, that's true. Sometimes they can take months.
Yeah, so maybe they knew they were being evicted, but they didn't know the exact day. And they talked about it maybe back in July.
Yeah, that's probably true.
And then they finally happened in September.
Oh, that could be it too, guys. It could be homelessness being neglected in Virginia if they were living in the car with the kids or something.
But
But
that wouldn't lead to death.
right.
What was the actual charge? I missed the beginning of the stream. What was the actual charge?
Hold on, let me make sure. Is that Rap? Is that really you? Show your face, boy. Okay, you get your off. Just making sure. Okay, so you want me to pull up the
Did y'all
charge?
hear Cam got arrested?
Shut up.
Did y'all hear?
Yeah, did you?
No.
Thanks for the
Okay,
update.
I
I had
just
no
heard.
idea.
Yeah.
We would not have known.
Oh, is this the candle, Laura?
Yes.
What's up, Laura?
What's up? You gonna stop trolling me?
What? I haven't trolled you in a long time.
I know. I have you blocked under 3 different names.
More than that. I'm Black Plastic Jesus sometimes.
Rap's actually pretty cool. He's not like a mean troll.
He was to me.
Really?
No, I wasn't mean. No.
So there's a civil lawsuit stating September. That's what somebody texted me. I haven't seen this civil lawsuit, but I believe this person's saying it but I wonder if they can send that to me.
Family courts get put under civil, not criminal court.
It's under family court.
Right. But in court systems, they appear in civil court. So it would be filing, even though it's a family court matter,
Correct.
It still gets filed under civil court. So that might not be anything. The 926 and 927 date on that, the charges or the affidavit that you had, that is the most telling information because that's when he was arrested and officially charged.
Yeah.
And it's a 2-month plus investigation at that point.
He was arrested in Virginia?
I don't know if what Ziggy showed had the actual state where he was arrested, but it was had a date of where it went.
Yeah, unless he was arrested. Because I was wondering too, could he have been? Because I had a suspicion that they were living in a car or staying at friends' couches or whatever, kind of just like whatever, wherever they could. Let's see, the abusive child.
Because the reason I'm asking, because I'm on my cell phone, my son's on my computer. What I'm asking is, if he was arrested in Virginia, then look up Virginia's statute of exactly what that charge is.
Oh yeah, we did that.
And what did it come up?
Here, I can pull it up again.
Jeez, Laura, where you been, Laura?
I've been live. I've been on my other channel.
Well, Justin was the one that first brought it up, but
can we make Cam a candle?
Can you make who?
Can we make Cam a candle?
No.
No.
Mm-mm.
Oh, what the concept?
Ziggy a candle.
Do what?
Yay!
Oh,
Did you make one for me? Really?
No.
Or you say you will?
No, I said he can make one for you. I mean, I can make one for you if you want one.
Oh. So 18.23, whatever this, it comes up as abuse and neglect of children, penalty, abandoned infant. Any parent, guardian, or other person responsible for the care of a child under the age of 18 who by willful act or willful omission or refusal to provide any necessary care for the child's health causes or permits serious injury to the life or health of such child is guilty of a class 4 felony. For purposes of this subsection, serious injury includes but is not limited to disfigurement, fracture, a severe burn or laceration, mutilation, maiming, forced indigestion of dangerous substances, and life-threatening internal injuries.
Okay, so he either, the kids either had drugs on them or it was physical abuse, like, and they had to go to the hospital or broken
I think
bones.
it's this one right here, this one. I don't think it's that one because that's a class 4 felony and his is a class 6.
Okay,
So
it
it's,
would say it on his thing.
yeah, it says, let's see. It says class 6 felony. Abuse, child,
Okay.
disregard for life. And it says 18.2-371.1, but it's only one of these underneath here, probably. But it doesn't say exactly which one it is.
It should line up with that exact number.
Scroll back down to where you can see C.
Like if it's like 18C and then in parentheses it says, 2B, then you would be able to find that exact one.
I'll show it again. They didn't put that part. That's what I was asking Justin for earlier, because I'm like, I was trying to look too and see if they didn't put the subsection. They just put the overall, this part.
So the only thing that says anything about a classification of it is 1B. 1B1 or what? The section, the second section there, right where your mouse is.
Yeah, it says any parent, guardian, or other person responsible for the care of a child under the age of 18 whose willful act or omission in the care of such child was gross, wanton, and culpable as to show a reckless disregard for human life is guilty of a class 6 felony. And here, let me show Laura what I was talking about with what it says as far as what's listed here. See how it says 18 point. Now, I wonder if we click on that, but I'd have to figure out where he got this at. Let's see. I bet that code section can be clicked on maybe, and maybe it will give more. It says class 6 felony right here.
It should say the county, right?
It does. It's Washington County.
Yeah, Washington County. There you go.
Is that Virginia or Tennessee?
Virginia. Yeah.
There is a Washington County in Tennessee, but this is saying Abingdon, Virginia on it.
Okay.
1 second. I'll see if I can find it. There's a case number right there too. Last time I tried to look on, here's online services.
Does Virginia have open records? I think they do.
That's what I'm looking for, but last time I tried to, maybe it's West Virginia. I was thinking that's hard to find information. Because here's
that's how people found out Dolly's brothers and Dolly's info. Dolly's in Virginia. So I'm thinking they may have open records.
Yeah, court docket.
I would let you mean.
Huh?
I was talking to your chat.
What? What'd you say?
I'm just responding to
Never
people
mind.
in your
Okay.
chat.
What was that criminal law statute again? The numbers?
It's 18.2 -371.1. Washington County JNDR.
For now, Purple Sky.
Hold on. So Washington County J and DR. I'm going to type it in just.
Under Virginia Code 18.2-371.1, any guardian, parent, or individual responsible for the care of a child who willfully exposes the child to severe injury or refuses to offer the child necessary care is guilty of child abuse and neglect.
What's up, Lindsay?
Oh, I put Tennessee as Virginia.
Child
That's what the
mature?
Virginia. That's what Virginia's code says.
You know my email, Lindsay.
Maybe living outside? Or living in not going to school? I don't
It's
know.
not saying that. It's clearly saying exposes a child to severe injury or refuses the child necessary care. It's not saying anything about living in any sort of description of a proper home or anything like that. It's saying it's clearly saying abuse or neglect of care.
So a kid broke a bone, they never took him to the hospital? That kind of thing? And that's
That would be neglect of care, yes.
Well, mom's a nurse. Why would you do that? Like, that's weird to me.
A duality, man.
I would actually go as far as to say, I'm scrolling, looking at more information here. This also includes abandonment. So if they left the kids at grandparents' house and they're not having custody or given financial support to help, that could potentially be the abuse or neglect in this.
You think?
Oh yeah.
So is anybody buying Cam's story?
No, not at all.
Okay. I didn't think so.
Cam needs rehab. He's needed it for 2 years. After he gets clean, then I might listen to his story.
I'm not.
Depends on how
See, this
good it
is
is,
all
huh?
I'm finding is like, I don't. Can you guys see what I'm even looking at?
I do.
I
Yeah.
can't because I'm on my cell. It's hard to see.
Oh, okay. Oh, thank you.
That's the website I was looking at.
Wait, Scott H just said Allie got arrested too. 10-10-2-3.
Yeah, but there's no proof that Ellie was arrested. Like, we can't find a
Okay.
mugshot.
What? Yeah, that's what we're trying to find. Hold on.
I just saw Scott H put in the chat. Don't shoot me.
That's how
No,
we
the
got
other people
sidetracked.
said that same thing. It's cool.
We were originally looking
Yeah,
at that,
don't,
then I got
Lady May.
sidetracked.
Don't take me there, Lady May.
Yeah, that's where I was looking for the information. I don't know if the person in the back chat wants to say their name said or anything, but that's exactly where I was reading from.
Yeah.
See,
Thanks, Matt.
what's really sad though, that neither one of them notice or neither one of them care. I don't know what the answer is, but this isn't like people are talking about them or because they're making a joke out of it. It's not like some of these other people that get arrested. Like, people genuinely care about them and genuinely want to see them get sober and get their shit together. And I hope they don't piss that away and think that, oh, people are just using it for drama. Because I know the community. They really have a lot of people pulling for them. And it's sad to see that they just don't see it.
Is this the only one that, okay, because there's a couple that are class 6. So reckless disregard is a class 6 felony, which is a lesser charge if any parent or guardian intentionally actions or omissions regarding child care are so blatantly deliberate and culpable that the actions reflect a reckless disregard for human life, then the parent or guardian is guilty of child abuse or child neglect as a class 6 felony. And then there's one down here that says right here, however, abuse without injury, however, an individual, guilty of abuse of an incapacitated adult without serious bodily injury. Okay, so that's incapacitated.
Incapacitated.
Okay, so somebody who's like, has trouble getting around or some, on their own
Yeah, they
or
can't
dependent
walk.
on others.
Yes.
Okay. So
I'm
it's not that
sorry.
one then. So it has to be just this one, reckless disregard.
Which is what I was basically
Yeah.
saying.
Yeah, because if it's not that other one, then it's because that's the only class 6.
Unless incapacitated means because he was that fucked up on drugs. That would also give you incapacitated. Not just that like you can't walk or something. It could be that you're so high that you can't take care of your kid.
Well, it's abuse of an incapacitated adult. So
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Country Girl 1010 hasn't happened yet.
Yeah, that would mean like an adult in a wheelchair, like elder abuse.
Scott H is back from the future, y'all.
Oh, is that what Scott H said, that she was arrested? She's not the only one that was saying that, but like I said, I'd have to.
What was she
1010.
arrested for? Where's the proof, though?
I don't know. It's
Right.
not here yet. They said 1010. It's the 1st. We gotta wait 9 more days.
He's so stupid.
Yeah, I'm laughing at the chat, y'all. I'm not laughing at what they're talking about.
I'm looking here. Okay, I see. What's her name? Oh, her name's her name's actually Allison, isn't it? Not. I was looking at Anita. I don't see anything on her on Allie right now in Washington County. I don't even see the stuff on Cam in Washington County. But it does say what on the thing that Trev posted. It says Washington County J&DR Court. That's like junior division.
It could be, whatchamacallit, for the kids.
Yeah.
Juvenile.
Maybe.
I hope.
Are Cam and Allie legit married?
Yeah.
You
Well,
sure?
I mean, I saw a picture of their wedding pictures. I don't know if if they just had a ceremony and.
No, I just meant they're legit married.
Well,
Not
maybe
just,
they
like,
had a ceremony
saying
and
they're
didn't have just had a ceremony and wasn't legal. I don't know. Let's see, online services.
Because I wonder if she's if they're not married, if she for some reason might be under juvenile court, but I don't know.
So I've gone and found the 2023 VCC Virginia crime codes. It lists all of them alphabetically and by statute. There's 5 listings for this particular code that he's been charged with. And or 5 mentions in the document of the codes that he's been charged with. 4 of them are actual charges. And each one says a different level of child, or it refers to just child abuse and neglect, serious injury. Again, it says gross, wanton, or reckless care for child. Child abuse and neglect, serious injury is listed again, and then again lists gross, wanton, and or reckless care for a child. So it's got to be straight out an abusive situation or neglect. The other things are covered under the statute, but the 371.1 brings you all the way down to where it's saying abuse or neglect.
And it has to be so bad that they even took the kids like on the first time. Or maybe it's not the first time. Maybe it's the second time. Maybe they gave a chance. Maybe they gave a chance and he fucked it up, and that's why he was finally arrested.
Who did? Who posted a few minutes ago? We already showed it. Is it Cam? So shit, I forgot what I
They're
was going to
saying he
say.
posted again on his community tab.
Oh, okay.
Is it
Scott
good?
H says that he said, sorry, the hearing date is 10/10/23, but the offense date was 7/22/23. And that's the same offense date as Cam. So okay, so you guys are saying that. Let me check Kraken cases and see if they posted something else again.
I'm not disputing what is being reported in chat, but that's a little bit odd that they would have court dates completely separate like that. Unless Cam's information didn't have a court date, and I missed that.
Well, I mean, we haven't seen anything on her yet, right?
Right, but we just saw his offense date was also 7/22/23, but we don't know. I don't think it said a court date for him. It's probably also, I don't know. You're saying that you think it'd be the same date?
You would think
Yeah.
if it's related, yeah.
Unless they were trying to completely separate charges, which usually they would have an initial hearing or be in court initially, and then they would make that ruling to separate the cases like that.
Yeah, but we don't know what her actual charges are. They could be completely separate charges or
True.
different charges. We're assuming that she got arrested for the same thing he did, but maybe she got arrested for like distribution of drugs. Like, we have no idea.
I guess that makes sense why she couldn't get a nursing job, but her nursing her certificate or license is still valid at the current time, but it's expired April of 2024. So nothing's been changed with her license yet. I'm trying to find where they got that where Trev pulled up that information.
Scott H just said in the chat that he just posted that on his wall.
Okay. I'll pull it up. This is giving me a little bit of a stress headache. This is I hate it. I hate it for him. I do. Gosh, this. But okay, so right there, Allison, Washington County JNDR.
Oh, wow.
Court. Allison Elizabeth, offense date 7/22/23, abuse, and it's the same code section 18.2-371.1. She got 2 charges too.
Wow.
She got the same charges?
Yeah.
All right. Well, there you go.
It shows her hearing as 10/10/23. I might have not. It looks like, I don't know. This might be where he's accessing this. Might be Helen, all court levels. I'm just curious where you found it, but that's fine. I'll find it later. You're in Miami for my favorite place. Are you in South Beach? I love South Beach. Yeah. Wow. I don't even know what to say, really. No, I don't think they're in jail. I think I guess they were they on the run for 2 months? I don't know how this offense date. That's what's mind-boggling to me. Why was the offense date in July, but they're arrested in September? That's like.
The only logical thing I can come up with is what I said before, is that they were given another chance. Either they were on the run, or they were given a chance by CPS to straighten out, go to rehab, something. And if they didn't do, or they failed another drug test or something, then they would be arrested.
Now I could see, but I know what they're going to try to say. They're going to try to say that, that they were using, but it was because of all this, because they lost their kids and stuff. They're good. I bet anything. That's probably what they're going to say. Is that when if you would use too if you lost your kids, which I don't know, probably would. I don't know. I probably wouldn't live through. If something happened to my daughter, I don't know what would happen.
Yeah, but the hole in that story, CPS doesn't give a shit if you do drugs if you don't have your kids. What the hell do they care? CPS is only involved if you have kids.
Yeah.
If someone took your kids and you were doing drugs, you're not going to get arrested. You're just not going to get your kids back. So they can't use that as an excuse.
Hey, Granny's watching. I don't know. Can't hear her right now, but thank you.
Hey,
Mia.
so I was just looking it up, and for
Oh no, you're cutting out really bad. Dang it.
Virginia, they have 40 days. Are you kidding?
No, you're cutting out really bad. I was wanting to hear you though because it sounded like you were saying something interesting. Something about 45 days.
Okay, can you hear me now?
I can right the second, yeah.
Okay, so in Virginia, they have 45 to 60 days to investigate claims of child abuse and neglect, and that would make sense why the charge, is initiated in July but arrested in September.
Okay. So some type of call maybe was made on this 22nd or something. It makes sense now. Everything, it makes sense. But they tried to act like what really happened with her job then? What was the date that she lost her job? Does anybody remember what month that was?
That was a long time ago.
That was way before that? Before the summer?
Way before that. Because I'm pretty sure when I called them out back in May of 2022, I think she'd already lost her job then.
Mm.
Or right around there. And what's up, Granny?
Cam said they had false call. Well, that's scary. If that's true, like that somebody can get their kids taken from false call, that's scary because I get them called all the time on me. CPS is here all the time because of YouTube.
Yeah, nobody not taking kids based on a fake call.
And not only that, but they're not going to charge you based on a fake call either. It's not just that like CPS intervenes, temporarily. He's being charged. Like they're both being charged. So they found evidence that, how many of us as YouTubers have had CPS involvement because of false calls? Not many of us, if any, have lost their children over them.
I'm not going to identify the person that said this because I'm not sure they want to be. They privately messaged me. This could also be a situation where one or both of them, while they had the kids, was also like drunk, high, and they could have been driving a vehicle and pulled over.
But then they would have DUI. They would have a DUI charge.
But it could also be a public disorder type of situation if they were outside of their home. The police simply could have said, "Go home, go inside, stay inside."
That's unlikely. What I think it is exactly what everybody thinks it is, and pretty much they tell what it is through their posts. Underneath all the bullshit and deflecting, what we have are two people who we've all witnessed. I mean, Laura's called it out a year ago. I remember saying things about it. You could see that Kim was using. Allie, not so much, but I mean, there was always something off there, and and they progressively have gotten worse in the past year. Obviously, they have all this YouTube money coming in. They're addicts. They're probably getting higher than ever, and before they knew it, it started falling apart on them. I think it's a case of two addicts.
It didn't even make sense because you just hit on something about the money they make really good money, and that's something I could not figure out. I'm like, why aren't they on YouTube making money if they're struggling so bad? Like they do really good on there, so now things are making more sense. There was a few people I talked to, and I'm like, I don't understand why they're not on YouTube making money if they're struggling that bad. Because you remember?
Because they're probably too high.
Yeah, and Cam came on like just for the first time, like a couple weeks ago, and they had a blurred out background. It seemed like they were in a car or something.
And he visibly looked, I mean, he looked
Yeah.
horrible in that stream. And it's kind of infuriating because so many people, even still in their comment section, they don't want to believe it. And it's like, it's all the signs are there for you. And it's actually a sad thing. The only thing that makes it like aggravating is the fact that they made all this money off Summer Wells, another, a child, which is like, how do you have the audacity? But in overall, view of it, it's actually a very sad thing that this is happening. And it just goes to show why people shouldn't be so careless with their money and, stop with the parasocial relationships. It was obvious there was drug abuse taking place, but people didn't want to see that. And they're still fighting for them, that they're victims, and believe in this story about the mother, instead of being thankful that his or her mother was able to take those kids and those kids are safe right now.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not allowed to say who the person's name that gave me that information. But what I can say is, and they give me permission to say, is they actually live in Virginia, and they're right now handling a similar case to what is going on with Cam and Allie. And the exact situation was that this is coming out of a DUI or DWI type of situation.
But wouldn't they have get charges of DWI then?
Yeah.
If they were driving a vehicle, yes. If there was just a public intoxication type of situation, that's up to an officer's determination. If they believe that it's just better for them to refer to CPS for further investigation, and tell everybody to go inside for the night.
Yeah, that's what I had said earlier. I said that maybe they were high around the kids, but I still think the kids tested positive.
Why do you think that?
Because one, it's the way the charge was read, but I don't know. I just think that they may have tested positive, that they were both arrested. Because the one thing that doesn't make sense, they shouldn't have been arrested if they didn't have the kids. That's the part of this that's not adding up. Because once you lose your kids, CPS is done. They don't care what you do, as long as you don't have your kids.
Right, but they had their kids in July when the initial report was made.
Well, that's true too.
I think it's exactly what they said. You got it. They're addicts, right? I'm in recovery. You got to read between lines. They're telling you what happened. They were getting high. His mother got concerned. She reached out to CPS. CPS came to the home. They found that the children were being neglected. Either A, they were filthy and they did look like they were being fed, and or there were drugs laying around the child in reach. And that then they got, they took the children. They did the investigation. They found these two to be incapable of taking care of the kids, and here they are.
All right, I hate to say it.
I think putting out the kids were on drugs is a little
alive?
heavy there, Laura.
Are we sure nothing happened to one of the kids? Are we sure
Get
that
off,
nothing
Laura.
happened to one of the kids? No, I'm
Girl,
serious.
get out of here, Laura. Stop that.
I'm
These
being
kids are
dead
fine. They're in mother's
serious.
custody. I know you are. You're wild. You are wild.
It's fact, though.
I mean, like, how many kids do
I
they
pray
have?
they're okay, but it sounds they're fine.
Okay, yeah, I saw pictures
know.
on the mom's Facebook. They look good.
Ziggy, has anybody looked for an arrest record from 7/22 for
No, we
Cam
haven't
or
had
Allie?
it's all coming out. I don't know. I mean, maybe there's some people now. This is all like new to everybody, so probably people haven't had any chance really.
On
That's why
Cam?
we're all here to hear, huh?
Cam?
For either
The
Cam
actual-
or Allie, yes. I'm asking if
charge.
anybody has looked at to see if there was an arrest record from 7/22.
The actual charge that, I don't know his name, the guy on panel, the actual charge that he found says that something happened to the kids and they neglected them, didn't bring them to
Cam's,
the doctor, didn't bring them to the hospital, something. That's
Right.
what the actual charge says.
Right,
So
but
something
you're
happened.
not
has a hefty
you're not hearing what I am
arrest record.
saying. You're not hearing what I am saying. I can't tell you who the individual my source of information is from.
Here, I have
But
all
I'm
the
telling you, somebody needs take a look at 722. If you know the DOG site, how to get that information, somebody needs to find out if there was an arrest from 722 for Cam or Allie or both.
Yeah, we'd have to, I'm searching. It would be something, you mean like if it came up in the newspapers or something?
Either that or just where there was an arrest or there was, you know how, what's that website? You can see when somebody's been in jail and you can track their movement in jail. Does Virginia have something similar set up like that?
Well, if
Where
you
you
go
can
to
see that somebody
arrest.org,
was arrested on a date, or there was charges coming from it, because what we're looking at is family court or civil court filing. I'm saying we need to take a look at if there was an arrest or if there was charges in criminal court or Virginia being a Commonwealth state, it might be even whatever circuit court.
Allie wasn't arrested. That's another thing. Allie wasn't arrested, just Cam. So that's weird too, because what did Cam do to get arrested? These were both, all the charge or the offense date is 7/22/2023 for both of them. But Cam was the only one arrested a few days ago. So maybe what did Cam do? Did he, did they get arrested on 7/22? And did he, I don't know. They could have already been on probation from if they got a charge in 7/22, could they?
then I said 820 for a DUI on 820, but it doesn't say the year. Siggy, if you pull up arrest.org and you put his name in, all the charges come up, and there's a lot. And Allie was arrested. Didn't you just show us that a few minutes ago?
Yeah. But I mean, it showed the offense date that she was, it says offense date 7/22/23, and it has her court date 10/10, but it doesn't. But for Cam's, he has an arrest. Like it shows offense date, and then it shows the arrest date of September 26th, and then I'm assuming his. So I don't understand why he was arrested and she wasn't, like a few days ago.
Yeah, that's true. And I want to make this clear. I didn't realize what the code said that Laura was saying, and I wasn't laughing at by any means at the situation. Just to clarify, I thought Laura was being a little ridiculous, putting that the babies were hurt and that. I didn't realize that's part of the code you had read, Laura. So I'm sorry. I know how sometimes you think further ahead into things, but I certainly was not laughing at the situation by any means.
She dropped. She'll be back. I don't think she didn't sound mad.
No, I know. I just wanted to clarify. I didn't realize that part of the code literally states a child was hurt and treatment wasn't sought.
Yeah. Did you say it's arrest.org?
Yeah, arrest.org. He has a crazy rep sheet.
It's making me put in.
He has a very long.
Does it ask you if you're
no,
a robot
I didn't have
and make
that.
you hit allow? Okay.
Mine to say that
it
now.
has to be some. Huh.
Like I took a screen recording, and it does say on 8/20, but again, it doesn't clarify the year, but it does say 8/20 there was a DUI.
Does this look like what you were talking about? Probably not, huh? I don't know. When I go to arrest.org, it does this. It will make me say I'm not a robot, and so if I click that, then it has a notification thing come up and it's trying to get me to hit allow, and I don't want to do that because I don't know what this is because it changed into a different. Did you post what you're talking about?
No, I have a screen recording of it, but I didn't post it.
Oh, okay. I don't know.
I could upload it really quick if you want.
Okay, cool.
All right, give me 1 second.
All right. I know everyone wants to see children taken away from the parents, but the parents are
He's saying Allie was a. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
Commenter said Allie was arrested on the 26th.
Oh, was it? What is? You guys saw that she was arrested on 26 also?
Yes, both of them were arrested on the 26th. The charges were filed on the 27th.
You see that with Allie's?
It,
I didn't say that with Allie's for the one I was looking at, but
I
that's
thought
good
it
to
did.
know because no, it's I'll have to pull it back up and see now because I'm.
Yes, but the investigation, whatever caused this investigation to start, whether it be a complaint that was filed or there was actually a police investigation, that involves the possibility of a DUI or DWI or a public intox type of situation. Okay, that actually doesn't say it.
Yeah, so I don't know, but it's good to. And it would make more sense if they both were arrested the 26th. That because that I guess would make more sense than one of them, not the other.
The source that I'm getting information from is saying there is a potential, not saying it's 100%, but there is a potential that there was a general district filing. There's meaning that there was a police investigation and there was charges happening on 7/22, possibly.
Right. So it was just when the investigation started.
Right. Well, no, I'm saying is that there's possible that there was a general district filing, some sort of court investigation or court charges from 7/22 that we're not seeing in this yet. We have that has to be found because for this type of charge, from what I'm understanding, this type of charge it would come from the police, not just an individual. The police observed the behavior they didn't like and referred it to CPS.
It would be nice. Well, it'd be nice to know those background things. Somebody messaged me a good point. You know, Allie being a nurse. That's when I want to know when she. I could have sworn it was more recently that Allie lost her nursing job. Huh? Oh, she's. I couldn't.
Is that me? Am I delayed? Can you not hear?
Yeah, I can hear you now. I couldn't hear you.
What I was saying is if Cam's mom called in CPS and they went on the 23rd of July and they opened an investigation, then that they're arrested today because they have 45 to 60 days to investigate the children, checked out the children's health. They could have found drugs in the house, you know, so doesn't with the DUI or anything to dire, but it.
Do you remember when Allie lost her job, when she was blaming it on PG and stuff? Because that is true. You know, if she got abuse charges, I don't think they would allow her to be an employee there. But I would think you would have to be convicted first before they fire you, right?
Yeah, and if she was arrested, right, because if she was arrested today, they'd be able to fire her tomorrow. Oh, right.
No, I mean, like, do you they wouldn't be able to, can they fire her without, I guess they could fire her for whatever reason, couldn't they?
Yes. Yes. So
if they suspected she was
a nurse
on drugs.
If she's a nurse and she was either they're suspected that she could have stolen drugs or been put a patient in possible harm, absolutely, they could have fired her in a heartbeat. Especially if they were suspected that she was using what she was stealing, or, God forbid, Cam was using what she was stealing.
I just really want to.
That's fireable offense right away.
I just really would love to know if anybody can find out when she was when they were accusing PG of calling her work and getting her fired. If anybody can find that out, thank you. And Laura's back on the panel.
Yeah, Granny, you have to be nice to me.
Laura. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I spent 3
I'm
hours in
trying.
the ER today. I put a knife through my hand. And now I got stitches in my hand.
Oh, I didn't think you were mad.
Oh my goodness, are you okay?
Yeah, it hurts. It's all wrapped up.
You
Total
do
idiot. It
sound
was such a
different.
dumbass
Ooh,
move. And I literally took a knife and boom,
making.
right through my hand. It was horrible.
Read Shay's post. Okay.
Did you say stitches too?
Yeah, I got stitches. The girl
Oh
said,
my
the
goodness.
triage nurse was like, this is impressively swollen. I was like, okay, impressively swollen. I like that.
For some reason, Shay's post isn't showing up. I'll show you guys here in a second. Somebody's trying to join. Okay.
Did you read, Ziggy, did you read what the person before me in private chat wrote?
No,
Okay.
Compliment.
It says, as a lesser charge, if any, parents or guardians' intentional actions or omissions regarding child care are so blatantly deliberate and culpable that the actions reflect a reckless disregard for human life, then the parent or guardian. That may make it easier. That talks about the level 6. Scroll down on the page I linked. If you scroll to the disregard, it gives what it seems to be charged with. And she put a link.
Oh yeah. I was reading that earlier. I pulled up her link and
Okay.
stuff. I didn't know if it was something else like. But yeah, we pulled up that site earlier. Guys, I also pulled up Shay's here. I'll show you what I'm seeing with Shay, but there's nothing. Besides, it just says Trev time. Here's a summary of the law broken. So I don't know. It must have been taken down. But so that means that Allie probably would have a mugshot too if
Yeah, I don't get why she doesn't have a mugshot.
arrest.org. Like, how come I can't pull up that freaking site? Arrest.org.
Here's a good comment. Andy Stoner wrote, delay, I'm sorry.
Oh, you're fine. I'm trying to look up on the site.
And nobody's friends with the
Go
family
ahead,
at all. Like they didn't make
I'm
that
sorry.
close of friends. Like anyone contact the mom or find out the real story.
I thought she had made a post on Facebook, but I was wrong. Somebody had sent me a post that she had made it talking about her grandkids in August, but no, she hasn't made a post yet, or nobody's talked to her as far as I know. Well, there's Cam, but somebody, yeah, see, Cam's on here. I don't understand why Cam is, but Allie isn't. That doesn't even make sense. But there's Cam right here.
Maybe she was arrested, but
maybe
not
because
put in jail.
Cam has
Like you can get arrested, but not technically.
Maybe because he has an extensive criminal record and she doesn't.
No, that don't matter.
Look at all his arrests.
He does have a lot of arrests, but wouldn't all arrests does not all arrests go on the site, or is it only some?
Maybe he got arrested because he has such a record.
Only if there's a mugshot. Like, and the only reason I'm saying that, my ex once had me arrested for something stupid. And I was fingerprinted, but I wasn't mugshot, and I was never spent a day in jail. They just had it on record. And I'm thinking maybe that happened to her, too.
Man, he has more mugshots than freaking Six Up. That's crazy.
Like, because you get a mugshot when you go to jail. You don't get a mugshot just for being arrested.
It's crazy, isn't it?
That she technically got arrested, like on record with a court date, but never went to, the county jail to get a mugshot.
Right? Maybe gosh, we've been just trying to figure it out. Like, it's giving me a headache, really. We're not going to
If you get arrested, if you have a bail bondsman,
could be.
She might have had a bail bondsman. My daughter-in-law got arrested a while back, and
Yeah, but they
She
still
did.
take a mugshot and stuff.
Nope,
Only
they
if you
didn't.
go to
No,
jail.
only if you go to the jail. And she didn't go. We bonded her out right there.
Oh,
We bonded her out at the courthouse.
Yeah,
And she
see, I
never
was
left to go to the jailhouse. So she
I
never got
was
her picture.
ROR. I never even made it to a courthouse. They fingerprinted me at the police station, and then
Yeah.
I left. And then it's just so it's on record. And then at a court date, which is dismissed anyway. But
In small towns, it's very easy for that to be done, especially because people get aware of things and they give them, it depends on who the person is.
And that did with
They're given
Allie,
that information.
because Allie does.
oh, Granny, you're cutting out. Yeah, her nursing license is still active.
Well, and because oh,
Yeah, she probably was released. Yeah, she just didn't. Cam might have they might have got him separately. And then once she realized he was arrested, she knew hers was coming. So she got a bondsman immediately.
Hey, Jude in the chat. Yes, and Tennessee, however, is different than Virginia. Tennessee, they make a whole entire little magazine that gets put out in convenience stores and distributed as part of basically the news, where people that are arrested are listed and their charges are listed in there. It's not the same for Virginia, though, is what I think the point everybody's trying to make. It's possible to not get a mugshot in some areas, or if you have a lawyer, be already
Or you don't even
arranged
have to
directly
have
with
an
the lawyer.
attorney if you just know to get a bail bondsman. When you know they're going to arrest, they knew this arrest was coming. I'm telling you, but maybe
Right.
not Cam.
No, Jim, I completely agree with you. I'm just throwing another scenario into this that because of his background, he decided he versus her background with being nursing and this, that, and the other, they got her a lawyer, and it was all handled directly through the lawyer. That's another possibility.
That is, yeah. And it may just be that she bonded out before they got a mugshot, before she had to go to the jail. But I think the kids were removed long before they were arrested. I really believe. Yeah, those kids were not with him when they were begging, or whatever you want to call it, for money for their big move to Bristol. Those kids were with his mother then, because he was cursing her. He was cursing his mother and talking horrible
When was
about
that?
her.
What date was that?
I'll have to go back and look. It was their very first live when they came back. Whenever live it was where they were.
Well, they've been. Oh, yeah, for sure.
That
They've been at his mom's at least since August, because I see, yeah, and because she shows pictures of them on there and hanging out in the yard and stuff, yeah. And that was back in August, and the way they were talking, you just have to see. I don't want to show it because it shows pictures of the kids and stuff like that, And,
right, but they may have had to go stay with her. That may have been a stipulation with the CPS during their safety plan. It may have meant that because that choice was given to my daughter, she could come and stay. Of course, at the time she was in active addiction and didn't, but now she does. You know what I'm saying? So they may have given them that, like, you go stay at your mother's, or we're going to take the kids and they're going to stay at your mother's. You get what I'm saying?
I kind of got the feeling that this actually has more to do with if there's if there was any sort of neglect, or if there's any sort of abuse, or I don't think it's necessarily that side of the information. I believe that the rest of the charges, where it's saying disregard for life or disregard life, I'm actually leaning towards the situation I was describing, which there was would have been some sort of police investigation that got referred to CPS, and it involves either somebody drunk and disorderly, or a DUI, DWI, or high as a kite type of scenario. I really do get the feeling that there's something else going on that
I don't know. People would have to look and see if they could find anything in July of this year. I'm sure
I really trust my source, who says they're working on a case that is similar, very, very similar to this.
Maybe he got angry with his mother and got aggressive with her. And
commenter
I'm just saying, he's got some extreme. I'm not kidding. If you listen to his live, and then after reading that amazing post, I get a sneaking suspicion there is major bitterness and animosity towards his mother for a lot of things.
Well, yeah,
From
he said
childhood up.
Yeah, but that would have nothing to do with him being arrested for neglect of the kids. If his
No, I'm
mom
not. No,
already
that's
had
not what I'm
custody.
saying. I'm saying that no, it has nothing to do with that. What I'm saying is, if he got aggressive with his mother with his children around, and she called the police, it would have everything to do with his kids. Is what I'm saying, and that's
Well,
a great possibility because I'm telling you that young man hates his mother, and that is sad.
Yeah,
That
but the
is what I
charge
thought.
has to do with him neglecting bringing the kids for help.
Well,
That would have
also I
It
read
nothing to
in
do
the
with
doesn't say
his
chat
It
mom.
somewhere.
doesn't specifically say that.
Listen, I read in the chat. Oh, she's gone.
It doesn't specifically say that. It says that the charge is that it's either neglect or basically abandonment. I'm paraphrasing, abandonment. It's that they're not taking care of their child. And if it was a case where they gave the child over to his mother willingly or not, and have not contacted and not given money to help, or 40 other different things that could file under abandonment, that is a potential possibility.
Hey,
However,
here's
say that kid went live saying his son was with her, and the commenter said that was
Oh,
July 23rd. It was said then that the
wow.
son had been injured and came. So yeah,
Oh, yeah,
July
that's
see what
that.
23rd,
I'm
the same day.
thinking. What I'm
That makes
thinking, here's my guess. After hearing everything, my guess is this kid got hurt. They were too high to bring him to the doctor, so they brought him to his mom's. Then his mom called CPS because his mom took him to the hospital, but the mom didn't know what was wrong because she didn't know. But they were too high. CPS was called. CPS came in, maybe interviewed them, they did an investigation, and boom, they just got arrested.
I
That's
think
my
you're covering
educated
your
guess.
mic a little bit, but we could hear you. It's just quiet.
All right, how's that? Is that better?
Not better. Yeah.
All right,
I'm
hold on.
looking to see if I can find that video that they're talking about. If
Is
there's
that better?
anything. Yeah, you're good.
Okay.
Let's see. In June, that would have been, or July, that would have been. So that would only be considered like 2 months ago, really.
But that's, I mean, honestly, that's a scenario I think makes perfect sense.
Yeah. Let's see. Let me see what date this one is.
Are you sick of having issues with your webinars? Waste
July 17th, 2023 is this one. So it's got to be you guys can still talk. I'm just trying to find this one's July 26th though. Okay, so it doesn't look like that unless they take down lives a lot. I don't know if he talked about it in here or not, but I don't know.
Constantly freezing, I know. Oh, we're going to get into it.
So this would have been a few days after
I
that.
think we'll be okay now. All right, so what I wanted to go over tonight is, if you haven't heard of it yet, the Step Freedom is a true story about a conspiracy theory, and it's for forgiveness and let our hearts be open. Orange jumpsuits or shirts and pants.
Doesn't look like.
I thought that was the guy on panel. I was like, why is he want to talk about conspiracy theory?
Yeah,
No, that was
he
not me.
deletes a lot of videos, so
No, that was not me. That was
I know.
Kim.
now I can see maybe on their community wall if they put anything. Pergard, I'm not really trying to cause an. Oh gosh, no, but I cannot sit and listen to her spread. Okay, so they're just showing the Dawn's.
Jam is in the background asking the back chat area asking for you to let her up.
Okay. I was trying to. I can't hear when on this restream thing.
That's okay. My phone keeps dropping me. I'm sorry.
Oh, look, this is 2 months ago. Update before anybody else tries to run with another bullshit story about the wish list I added. I'll explain it myself. I never made a wish list, as this is the first one we have had in 2 years. We've had a channel. The only reason I made one was because of this desperate situation we are in. There was an iPhone on there that was supposed to be in a separate wish list as a goal for me. It really was when I get everything taken care of. So thank you for reading this before making any snide remarks. I posted this link in the members only section, but I feel like I would post it here too. And this is not something that we usually do, as we have never had a wish list this entire time. We have had a channel on YouTube, but desperate times call for desperate measures, if you will. I'm not asking or trying to make anybody feel obligated to buy anything off this wish list. I'm only asking if you feel led in your heart to help, then we would really appreciate it. And in the future, when we get established, we will always pay it forward, because that's what good karma is. And that's how you gain good karma. Always pay it forward. And don't forget what people do for you anyway. Anyway, guys. What? Don't forget what people do for you. Anyway, guys, God bless and pray for us. We get ready to embark on this new lifestyle change and journey. So is there a way to get the date on this? The exact date, I wonder? Hold on. Are you guys still there? Sorry, I'm on a different screen.
Oh no, we're here. We're following you.
Yeah.
I'm just listening.
I was hoping I could see like what date this was made, because I'm sure we're gonna see a bunch of things now, a bunch of lies unraveling. So here's where the hey guys, due to finally getting my desktop back after 4 months of fighting with HP to get my desktop fixed, or fix my desktop because it was still under warranty, I finally got it fixed and has all sorts of technical difficulties. So what was on this wish list? Let's see if it's still there. A car organizer. You guys can't see that one, but hold on. Yeah, there's only one thing on it. It's just a car organizer thing. My email address is youtubeziggy@outlook.com. Yeah, he probably isn't going to take anything down, but you know, this, he might have already. That's what I'm saying. Like, who's trying to come up right now? Trevor, okay.
Yes, hold on. Kimberly is right. When Allie broke her ankle, when she broke a foot, that's when she was saying that she's off from work. And I don't think she ever went back. Because that's when I called them out, I believe. And everyone yelled at me saying, oh, well, she's not getting high. She's just out because her foot broke or something like that. So go back to May of 2022 and start there.
Man, I wish that I really feel like this is right around the fact that she's like 2 months ago was when he was fighting with Prayer Garden America. That's it. That I swear is right. Yeah, I'll have to wait. You said to go look on the community. I'll have to probably do this like off of here because it's hard to research while hey Trevor.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yep.
Sweet.
Did you have anything you wanted to say, or are you just coming up?
I had pulled all of the stuff up.
Yeah. How did you?
The charges.
Were you just curious about them or something? Is that how you found it? Because I started looking into them a couple months ago because I knew something was not right,
Well,
and I never could find anything.
The county that they're charged in is not too far from me, so it just came about that way where it was an abuse case close by, and somebody sent it to me, and I was like, then I saw it was them, and I was like, holy cow! But I have the charge pulled up, so it's the offense was 722. So that's that. The offense day was 722. They arrested 926. They both have the charge of child abuse with disregard of life, which is under class 6.
Did you see any filing for general district or general court for anything that was related to what was going on 722 that this investigation began?
Say that again. Sorry, I just completely cut out.
What I was asking was, did you find anything on 722 as far as a general district filing, meaning that there were anything being filed in criminal court for Virginia related to 722 at the beginning of this investigation?
No, so it was filed in Juvenile and Domestic Relations District Court. All it's got is the offense date and the arrest, and then it's got obviously that's in the Commonwealth of Virginia and the classification of the charge, and then their next hearing.
Does it show that? But you're saying it shows that Allie was arrested also on 926, or just Cam? Because that's the thing. I didn't see where it showed that Allie was arrested 926. Just that.
Hold on. I saw she definitely has the same charges. Let me double check that it was the same date of arrest, though.
Okay. Thank you to the person who sent me this. It was February 9th when they went on the Circle Jerks and announced that Allie had lost her job. It was, and that's when they started doing those. Okay, so February 9th, 2023. If you go to Circle Jerks, it was 7 months ago. And they talk about it on there. And that's probably when they raised the money for, Cam and Allie's on there.
Yes, she was the offense date 7/22/23. Her arrest was 9/26/2023.
Awesome. Okay. That's just, I want to just know that for sure. Not that it was that, but, well, I just didn't understand why one would be arrested on 9/26 and not the other. But if you see that she was, I just wanted confirmation.
Yeah.
So February 9th. So that would have been before, but that makes sense too, because it could have been something happened in February that could have got her spiraled. They could have started using, who knows? It could have been just like Laura said, they could have been using it since last year, like she said. I just took it, like he said, he had said many times that he was on Suboxone and Xanax. So I always was I know that those two together can sometimes make it look like you're on other things when they're mixed. So that's why I kind of made excuses, I guess.
I think he is a speedballer. I think he takes uppers and downers because he's falling asleep, but his arms are jerking and flailing like my addicted son used to do when he would speedball. You see people don't understand. Even if I've never done drugs, or you've done drugs, and you know because you've done drugs, I know because I've seen it with other people. And I'm watching his behavior. And I asked my son, who is recovered now, and I said, what do you think? And he said, oh, hell, he's speedballing. And he only saw him one time. I mean, allegedly, my opinion.
I told you, I called you, like, when was it? A couple months ago, and I told you that I
Yes.
noticed, or was it a month? I don't know. It might have been
Yeah, I
soon.
know. Yeah, you did. And you said you noticed.
I noticed that he was closing his eyes, closing the
Yes.
one eye, and I was telling you that that was something I used to do when I was on opiates, when I would try to read.
Yeah.
It's when you're on, and that takes a lot. You mean when you're high on opiates, like you have to be high, like to start getting that side effect. Where you would see Cam always like closing the one eye. That's
Yeah.
an opiate, like.
I wish you could go back and see the ones where his arms are just flailing everywhere and he's knocking stuff off. And before that, I think that was one where maybe Perplex came up, and it was either her, and I know Tiffany Marie did one time too. Twice he's been confronted about his being overly medicated online.
Cam admitted that he had a relapse in December. Okay, that's good to know. Thank you.
See, when I called him out last year, he claimed he wasn't even drugs. He never did drugs. And it's funny that you said the speedballing, because it was Memorial Day or Labor Day. I forgot which one, but it was in May. And I was going to a party right after that. And because so many people like hated me that day for calling him out, I was asking some people there that I knew did drugs or used to do drugs.
Mhm.
And I said, I just got railed for calling these two out. What do you think? And if I remember correctly, one of them said speedballing, that they believe he was speedballing. And I said definite cocaine.
It's crazy when someone is speedballing and they're falling asleep, but yet they're hyper.
Yeah.
They're back and forth. You look at them 1 minute, they're snoring. And if you say their name, they jump up and they're cleaning the house. They're weird acting, and their arms flail. There are certain mannerisms when you're doing drugs that people that don't do those drugs quickly pick up on. Someone who's using math, we'll call it, each person has a specific tick or movement that they do. I've noticed it in all different people that like to do math, that they make different mannerisms. Each person, one might.
It could be cocaine too. It could be.
Yeah. Yes. It could be
cocaine.
cocaine. It might not be the math. It might be cocaine that they're.
Could be Adderall even. Adderall.
Oh yeah, absolutely Adderall. And the one thing that all of those three drugs do is make you mean as a damn snake.
Oh yeah, opiates will make you really bitchy.
Yeah. And if math makes you mean, coke can make you mean. All those drugs are drugs that
I remember.
I wasn't ever mean on them.
Well, I'm glad that you were. If you're an extra nice person, maybe you just got a little mean and didn't notice.
Once you were addicted, you didn't like where you had. What was your drug of choice though?
Cocaine.
Oh, well, see, I was opiates. Opiates will make you bitchy once you're hooked on them.
Yeah.
It gets very, very moody.
And
see, I never liked opiates.
Meth makes you mean like out of the gate. You are an evil devil human on meth.
Only when you come down. Not when you're on it. When you're on it, you're happy as can be. When you come down, you're fucking miserable.
Yeah, but I just felt like they also were edgy when they were on it too. I mean, oh gosh. Listen, if you've never done it and you see someone that does meth, it's like looking into the eyes of Satan in your loved one. It's heartbreaking, you guys. You look into their eyes and you wonder what happened to that person you love so much.
Mm-hmm.
And they've become this Satan-like person that is ready to attack you for nothing. You can say one word and they're like down your throat. It's a really sad thing to watch someone you love so much destroy themselves with that particular drug. Or any drug for that matter.
Think of how they make it, Think of how they make it. That stuff is so bad for you.
It's made by some idiot. I'm sorry.
I know. I've done every drug you can imagine. I've done it all. So that's how I know
it's not, I just know that it's made by dudes in a bathtub that just don't even know how to pronounce
That's the
words
Ben
right.
Hill favorite, I guess, out there. Ben Hill's
It is
favorite
in a lot of rural
is
areas
cheap
because,
to,
yeah,
yeah.
it's
Not to get sappy and personal, but one of the reasons I called them out is my son's father died of a drug overdose April 8th of 2022.
my
When she
son's
came
father
to
died of a
me,
drug overdose.
so when she came to me, the person came to me and said, "You really need to watch this." This was like less than 5 weeks after my ex died. You know, I was
Mhm.
dealing with the loss of this, and it was from a methamphetamine overdose, is what it was labeled on his death certificate.
Oh man.
My
I saw Cam and Allie. Like, I probably shouldn't have lost my shit on them the way I did.
it triggered you.
And and lost my mind. But people are like, why is she so uptight over this? But it was 5 weeks after my son's loss. So I almost took it personal, because the person that told me about it was like, I can't handle watching it. She was a big Cam and Alley person. She was like, I can't handle watching this. This motherfucker's high as a kite. And I watched it. I was like, talk about triggering. Oh my God. And I knew it was speed. I didn't know if it was something else, but I knew it was speed, and I lost my shit on him.
Oh, wow. Well, he's not was on Suboxone, so I was always under the impression his drug of choice was opiates, and that's what he talked about on my channel. But speedballing makes, if you feel like he was on speed, I know he was on opiates though, because he was doing that one-eyed freaking shit, and that's what I used to do. So maybe it is speedballing.
But
Laura.
the reason you have to understand as an addict, the reason why people will say it's opiates if it's heroin, or they'll say it's opiates even if it's cocaine, because even though opiates is still an addiction, it's from a doctor. So it's a lot more accepted than, oh, I'm doing cocaine. It's different if you're doing cocaine or you're doing Adderall. It's different if you're doing opiates or you're shooting dope. And a lot of people, a lot of addicts will say it's one thing because that's from a doctor and they think more people understand,
I was
rather
addicted to
than
pills. I didn't do heroin, so I always said opiates. So maybe that's why. But I say opiates just because it covers the whole thing. You know, the heroin, cocaine's cocaine. It's not an opiate. Opiates are like, like pain medicine, heroin.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Laura.
So yeah, I just say opiates because it's all encompassing, like you say, with that category. But
Okay.
yeah, I didn't shoot up, But you guys, I've been clean since 2013. Like I don't even drink now. That's to the people in the chat, like that were saying, "Man, I must have lived a sheltered life." Like
My first perplexed. My first husband also died of a drug overdose.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And my children were devastated, and then they were addicts just like their dad. And someone asked me, why didn't they learn from their dad? And I said, they did learn from their dad. And it was heartbreaking. It's been heartbreaking. But my boys are both doing much better.
Good.
And my daughter is doing much better. But yeah, they lost their dad due to that. And so when it triggers me watching Cam, because it's like seeing my kids. It's like seeing my kids up there. I don't hate him. He thinks everybody that's talking to him about this stuff hates him. We don't hate you, Cam. We want you to get the real help you need and stop making excuses. Irregardless of why your children were taken, you have a serious problem. And if you want to pretend like you don't, you can continue to pretend, and you'll continue to be without your children.
Yep. And that was the one thing everyone came down on me for. Everyone was like, oh my God, he's got kids to think about. I go, exactly. He's got the kids to think about. The man needs to be in rehab. And they were like, you don't know what you're fucking talking about. I can't believe you're saying this. You're horrible, blah, blah, blah. I'm unsubbing. I'm like, you'll see. Just wait.
Good people get on drugs every day.
Oh,
Good guys
absolutely.
become addicts every day.
Absolutely.
And that's what Cam needs to understand. Nobody's saying he's a bad guy. We're just saying he's an addict that needs help.
That's exactly right. And some of the best people I know are addicts. Some of the smartest people I know are addicts. So, like I said, I wear the fact I'm an addict loud and proud. I'm not embarrassed of it. I'm not ashamed of it. We're loud and proud.
You've overcome it.
Yeah, absolutely.
You overcome it every single day, you and Ziggy both, because you choose not
I
to
was,
go
I
back
was
to that
muted.
life.
I was trying to talk. I was like, agree with her that a lot of people who are geniuses, actually geniuses, IQ over 140,
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
are addicts, have been
They-
addicts.
Well, because why do you think we are addicts? Because there's something chemically wrong in our brain. It doesn't mean that it has to be a bad thing. Doesn't, and this is how I grew up. This is what I believe. There is a chemical imbalance in my brain. I can't deny it. I can't hide it. It's how I was born, and I was born an addict. I will always be an addict. But what I choose to do with my addiction, that's solely on me. And a lot of people don't realize that. I'm like, I am not ashamed to wear loud and proud I'm an addict. It's how I was. If I had autism, I'd wear that loud and proud. Like, it's just who I am in something that I've learned to deal with. Either take me as I am or don't.
Right.
Shame causes, usage. And the minute I stopped shaming myself and the minute I wore that shit loud and proud, here I am. I'm an addict. Damn proud of it too, because it's what makes me me.
Yeah, and you can really change people's lives if they see that, there's hope and like, oh my gosh, maybe I can have a channel like Laura someday, or maybe, you know what I mean? So you can't, there is a purpose for us recovering addicts. We can help those who are still struggling.
Absolutely.
Some people do change. And Cam is still young enough that he's at that age. He needs to start, like, he's getting there. Like, if he needs to make a decision now.
This is just a wake up call, is what it is.
Yeah, but he might not even be ready.
And this may not be his rock bottom.
Exactly.
You have to hit your rock bottom, and your rock bottom. The sad part, it's just sad because the lifestyle that they're leads to places, and thank God there's led to jail and not the other place. Because I'm telling you, when you are an active user, you are risking your life every single day.
Absolutely.
And you are possibly going to die if you do not stop using. And it's heartbreaking. I just wish people could see inside of a mother's heart when they see the child.
Oh, yeah. Look, this is where he falls asleep and has like a seizure online. Like, shaking. Drugs will make you kind of look like you're seizing when you're nodding sometimes. Particularly if you're doing speedballing, probably, but
brass tacks, what this all comes down to is this is a wake up call for Cam. This is it's a decision moment, and all of us have had that battle an addiction, have had that moment. I can tell you
absolutely.
I can tell you today without even having to think about it. What was the date that I last had my binge drinking episode? I can tell you exactly what happened. I can tell you, why I went to a bar, the whole 9 yards. Still today.
Sure can.
For me, that was February 19th, 2006.
That's funny. Mine was February. I don't remember if it was the 8th or the 18th, but I was also February of 2008.
I had gone to a bar to go watch U.S. versus Canada ice hockey game to watch the Olympics, and I had drunk myself. I remember I had a $90 bar tab when I checked out, and that was not food. That was just drinking. That was my wake up call.
See, my wake up call, it was weird. My wake up call, all the years of doing cocaine, I looked over at my ex one day, the one that recently passed, and I said to myself, if I don't stop doing cocaine, he is never going to stop shooting cocaine. And at that moment, I said, Brad, we're not doing this anymore. We have a 1-year-old, we have a 3-year-old. I'm done. And if the only way that you're going to stop is me to stop, I'm done. Never picked it up again.
Wow. Yeah. That would be a really good reason to get clean.
The
Yep.
reason I bring that up though is that we've all faced that moment, and it can, if the allegations or if what happened was from a usage issue, which whether it is something you injected, smoked, or whatever, or you drank, man, we're all here to encourage you to get help and to say you can do this. Ultimately, you can do
Absolutely.
this.
But you're
Yeah.
right, though. Everybody has to have that moment. And whether it be jail, whether it be a friend dying, or whether it be trying to help yourself to help someone else, your kids. But you're right. Everyone has to have that moment, because at no point in my life up until that point did I ever think I'd be able to stop. I thought I could stop for periods of time. I could stop here and there, but I could never stop like completely if it was put in front of me. If it was put in front of me, I was doing it. And from that moment, didn't matter if it was put in front of me. I didn't want to do it. So it does. Everybody's has that one moment. You're right.
Yeah, and this could be that moment for Cam. I mean, he could do a lot of good at helping people. Same with Allie. If they're able to turn this around, hoping all active addicts get the help they need. We all know someone. I'm 15 years sober from alcohol and drugs. When I got sober, all the craziness stopped. Yes, exactly, Mystic Angel. You don't have to look over your shoulder all the time. That's why I'm not scared of freaking CPS coming here every, like how often they've been here. Like so far, I don't know, 6 or 7 times. Like, I'm not worried.
You got more than me.
I don't know, because I'm more, honestly, I'm probably one of the most, well, one time was one of the most disliked in the community. It changes from time to time. You see, it's like a cycle. So Allie was arrested too. Yeah, but we can't find her mugshot. She might not have had a mugshot, like people are saying. Maybe her family bailed her out immediately. Maybe she hasn't, maybe she still is not, still got somewhat of the support of her family or something.
She may have a better support system.
So you want to know? You want to know something too, though? Speaking of being an addict, that people have to remember, I don't know how long they've been on drugs, but I mean, I was on drugs, 20 years before I quit? 25 years? No, not 25, about 20 years before I quit.
Wow.
I don't know about anyone else on panel, how long, but most people don't only do drugs for like 3 years and then quit. Most of them have years and years and years. So if Allie and Cam aren't ready to quit and they fuck up again, don't knock them for it. Depending on, I think they're young. Aren't they in their late 20s, early 30s?
Yeah. Early 30s.
I would actually be surprised. I mean, I didn't quit till I was 38 and I started when I was 12. So I have don't fault them if they're not ready to quit yet. They may need a couple more years. You know what I mean?
Yeah, as long as if they're honest, whatever, I just don't like with drug use. There's a lot of lying that has to
Absolutely, but that's active addiction.
Yeah. Here's somebody sent me this link. Let me hear what this says.
Anyone else? You're very sweet. Sometimes he's an asshole. Excuse my language. But I love him.
I appreciate I love you too. And we've been together. We're going to march this week.
I'll tell you what it really was. So when we met, he's told the story of us meeting. That whole day was interesting because I was doing clinicals. I was still in nursing school at the time. And he was in a rehab facility. This was 10 years ago, actually. 10 years ago next month. And he walked up to me and I was like, as soon as I saw him, actually, this is no lie. As soon as I saw him, I really fell in love with him. I don't know what it was. I just knew. And then he came up to me and he said, oh, I had to take his blood pressure. And he said, well, while you're writing them vitals down, why don't you write down your phone number? And I was like, oh my gosh.
Corny.
Oh, it was so corny. And then he told me, he lied to me and told me he was in a band.
Be botanical, yes. I told you I was a drummer.
Yeah, a drummer in a
Well,
band.
I'm too fat to be a drummer. My arms don't move that fast, but boy, I'm in a band. Yeah. Check us out.
Yeah.
What's the name of your band? The drummer.
Because that's what I am, and I'm the greatest.
Camden the Great.
But then we had to go to this little class, and I had to sit in the front with the woman who's.
So that was the end of that one. But somebody sitting and asked their story of how they got together, I guess. What was it? What was it said at the end? I was going to comment on.
The drummer.
Oh, yeah. The fact that he lied about being in a band is. Oh my God. They're laughing about it, but that's just, to me, shows that he's not an honest person. Well, I mean, I guess he was in active addiction at the time. I don't know.
It just shows he'll say anything to get what he wants.
True. But I have going to make a comment. Somebody deleted or bumped a comment that I happened to have seen. And I actually think it's a fair point. I'm not going to say the person's name, but they were asking, why are we not outraged that somebody in the true crime community is being accused of child abuse?
Because we don't know the whole story.
Right. You mistaken, and I'm not trying to be horrible, but you mistaken what we're talking about. And the fact that we're encouraging them the parents to get help with what they're charged with while they're being charged and going through this. Don't mistake that for us not being outraged.
Oh,
because we don't know if Cam like beat the fuck out of his kid. That's not what it sounds like.
Right.
It sounds like it's drug related or something to do with neglect, maybe due to drugs. We know he's on drugs, so that's how we know drugs are involved.
Right.
But people have this, like, we don't know if he technically beat his child. That's a whole nother story, but that's not what it says.
That's exactly my point. And until we know that information, one way or another, whether they openly admit it or it comes out from some other source, there's no place for us to be outraged, but right now be supportive and encourage them to get help.
And plus,
It's the only place we have.
Cam is going to say we were dogging him. He'll say that this was a hate live. I'm telling you, he's not going to see this as us supporting him and stuff. He's going to see this as hate. So to that person, I mean, we have, we haven't. Well, of course, we want him to get help and stuff. I mean,
that doesn't mean he wasn't shady or acting wrong, or we may not always agree with everything he says, and we may think that he might be wrong on some things, but what he's wrong on now is his addiction, and we're concerned about that.
Right. If the information comes out that it was abuse, neglect, then it's proper to express that sort of outrage. And in fact, go as far as to question, and I'm going to put this out here on everybody, if that information comes out, is what was the discussions that they had that nobody else was privileged to when they were on Ben Hill.
Mm-hmm.
But we can't go there until we know more information.
Well, I personally, don't hate me for this, I personally feel that anybody who wants to be friends with Don and Candace must do drugs too. I've always said that.
Yeah,
I did.
I mean, I was saying that earlier. Look at all the ones going to, I mean, we got Cam and Allie went to jail. The white boy guy went to jail. Benny's gone to jail. All these, I mean, Benny, I don't think he's supporting him now because
they have criminals supporting criminals.
It doesn't fit his narrative.
I agree.
It's criminals supporting criminals. They understand Don and Candace because they are like-minded. They are equally yoked. If you understand them, I'm sorry, and I'm sure that this is going to piss people off, but if you're sitting there and you're going, oh yeah, their house, it really wasn't that bad. Yes, it was.
Yeah, it was.
Yes, it was. It was that darn bad. Come on, people, wake up, shake it up. I live in rural areas. We live out in the daggone country, and we use soap and water, and my house is not packed to the top with boxes and crap and clothes and crap. And, to say in one sentence, Donald says, oh, well, she was overwhelmed. There was so much. Oh, she took the kids on lots of trips. Well, if you're overwhelmed at home, take care of that business, then take the kids on a trip.
I agree.
Or somebody sent me this to play. It's only, let's see.
If you wanna mess with good people, Tiffany Marie, then you need to see the speaker. You need to go. You need to go to church, girl. Always attacking people you don't know nothing about.
So I guess I'm sorry somebody sent me that. I wasn't expecting that. I thought it was him.
Him and
out.
Benny should start a band.
Yeah, but he's probably responding to Tiffany Marie calling him out for being high or whatever. But
And she originally thought that I was crazy. She originally had his back.
oh yeah, of course, anything that whatever suits her too, right? She's opportunist. That's makes sense.
No, but AB was with me, but she absolutely did not, agree with me. She's like, no, I think you're wrong. I said, trust me, Tiffany, I'm not wrong. No, I think you are. I think you and AB are wrong. Nope. And then a year later, she called him out. I was like, see, I guess I wasn't wrong, was I?
Oh yeah, she'll never apologize.
I know. She's a good friend of mine.
Oh,
I know she's not very well liked over here, but
Laura's has to say that real quick so we don't keep going.
yeah, she's my buddy.
Okay, no comment. Yeah, he did deny being high. He's still denying it. It's on his community post. He's denying that it's saying that he has not been using drugs or whatever. When it kind of is an insult, it's insulting to our intelligence, especially what I've seen in the last 6 months.
I don't know if they passed their drug test or not, but maybe they have recently because, they're under the thumb of the CPS. But I bet their initial drug test was probably failed. I just feel like whatever happened, it wasn't just hearsay. There has to be some sort of solid evidence or they would not have charged
I
them.
agree.
I just feel like there has to be solid evidence unless they're just all willy-nilly in Virginia and just arrest everybody for everything.
No, that's
or
a
maybe
fact.
they're in the same cahoots with Tennessee and they're kidnapping kids.
It's
and I think
not
that's been
even
all
a
of our
like
points.
maybe. It's not even like a maybe. That's a fact. They have to have proof in order to take your kid camp. Just stop the bullshit. Nobody's taking your kid because they feel like it.
Right. It would work out so much better if he would just be straight up. But I mean, I know there's things like that happen, I know, but we've seen too many warning signs to believe something like that.
CPS, Justin makes a good point, or Justin Farrell was just making a good point. CPS job is not just to pull kids out of a family. It's actually trying to keep the family unit together.
Family preservation.
There are circumstances where they have to do so for the protection of the kid or kids. Despite Cam having a history of substance abuse, I'm going to put it on Cam because I don't know Allie's background. I've not heard Allie's background. And with her being a registered nurse, she can't have a history of drug use. From everything I have seen, Cam is not a bad guy. We've made that case already, but choices sometimes, especially when it comes to giving in or having following an addiction, can make it look like a person is just bad. And that's the thing is he's not a bad guy. He doesn't seem like a bad guy.
Yeah, I think he has potential, both of them. I used to think that they were like I used to defend them big time until the stuff that they pulled on me this last summer with circle jerks and stuff, I was heartbroken over that with with them because I really liked them. But and then that's when I started like noticing like with Allie that she also was looking like, to me, she was looking like she was high in a couple of the lives. I had talked to a couple people behind. I didn't mention on here because I know it's a touchy subject and stuff, but well, actually, I did kind of mention on here. I kind of did actually talk about it a little bit. I remember because I talked about it when Cam and Allie came back a few weeks ago or whenever, because that was a very odd live. And so, and then in that I did mention, I think something like that happened. Because I don't believe
that live should have been called, "We need money. We want to move. Please, please, please give us money," because that's what it was about.
Oh, and they got enough money in one night to move, you know, and then they were talking shit about me saying, "Oh, we don't know how desperate Ziggy could have got, you know, how bad she needs money." And you know, no, so yeah, like I keep thinking that it pisses me off because it's always the hypocrites, dude. I do think Cam and Allie are, when they're sober, seem really like good people.
I think that off of drugs, Cam is probably a really great guy, and he's probably not quite as aggressive as he is when he's on drugs. I know people see that he's a nice guy. You get the feeling that he's a pretty good feller, and that's the thing. And it's sad to watch him. It was in the beginning, like you said, he was really pretty cool, and you could have an opinion and everything, and then suddenly he turned into this ogre. They wouldn't let people have it has to be completely, it can't be anything mean, you can't talk bad. It was all crazy. It was like Daisy. Crazy like Daisy.
He was on the other night with bad teeth pain. Oh. Yeah, I've heard some stories from several people behind the scenes about with them and stuff, which I was sworn to secrecy, so I'm never saying anything about, but it pissed me off because, you know, I knew this stuff the shady stuff that they were doing, trying, you know, behind the scenes. I knew it, and I couldn't say anything about it online. But they were, you know, and then I'd see that shit, what he said about me, it just make me so mad. It make me want to like say what I know, but I can't.
I know, gosh.
I mean, it's all what I know is basically, you know, what we know now.
We knew then and we know now for sure.
Yeah.
You know why I don't think they're ready though? Because they're still making excuses.
Yeah, right, exactly. It would have worked out so much better for him if they would have just came on, owned up, and people would have felt really bad for him.
Right.
Seriously, I think they would have had a lot of support.
Honestly, the letter
if they
or
took
whatever.
it serious.
His community post sounded like Dawn Wells wrote it.
Yep.
It really did. It sounded just like something Dawn would write.
Yep.
And you cannot, it doesn't matter why your kids were taken. You cannot stand there and point the finger at anyone else right now. You have to take that, do your part. No one is innocent when it comes to this kind of thing.
Nobody can help him if we don't know exactly what really happened, for one. Even no matter how bad it is, if we don't know, if people don't know the truth, they can't.
Right. If you just think
I don't know. Huh?
Every parent that's child gets taken from CPS. Yes, there are the rare occasion that maybe it was unwarranted, but doesn't it seem like every one of them always at first start the excuse and the blame game? I mean, I know a lady that said her kids got taken because everybody kept calling CPS on her. I mean, why are they calling?
Yeah. Well, I mean, like maybe something like my situation. I don't know.
Well, no, they said they got tired of hearing from them, so they just took her kids. But she was also on crack, so maybe that was why.
Yeah. Yeah.
Justin, for all, I agree with you. There are some things that if a person has a certain criminal past, and like a one offense, and they get things straightened out is one thing, but to have a repeated offense or offenses, I 100% agree with you.
You guys, I already read Cam's post about an hour or two, like it was within minutes of him posting it. So we've already talked about it on here and everything. I'll probably, is anybody wanting to go live that I could send all these people over to you to get a lot of people on your live? Like, just let me know. I'll send everybody there. You, Perplexed, Justin, anybody want to go live?
Not yet.
No, I'm going to head to bed.
RJ has to work.
Yeah,
I'm going
about to
bed.
head to
I don't
bed
even
in a
have
bit.
a live, so.
Justin probably has to work too. Or I don't know who's going. If maybe we've been talking about it for 3 hours, and it's
still a sad situation.
Yep.
Well, Cam can team up with Don because TPS still is. Well, according to Don, yeah. Oh, you gotta be up in the AM? Yeah, I figured. All right. Well, I think I'm gonna get off here, guys. Sorry to ruin. Most people would stay live with 1,200 people in the chat, but I don't really have much more to talk about unless you guys do.
Thanks for having me up.
I think we've fairly said, what needs to be said is that right now, this is what's going on. We don't know the full details, but we hope Cam and Natalie, if the charges are true, they get help. They get the help that they need.
I agree.
And remember, too, somebody sent me a good point in a text, too. They said, think about the Wells. The Wells didn't get their kids taken until after Summer went missing. This is real. Something bad happened. That's what they're saying because, yeah, it's true. The Wells had the boys for like another month or so after Summer went missing.
It was like 5 weeks.
Yeah.
But we don't really know if CPS took the kids or if the mom took the kids. We really don't know for sure.
Well,
no, the mom has it.
Yeah, the Cam's post actually says that their kids are with his mom.
Yeah.
And
also,
CPS is involved more than likely. They did a home study and all that. They didn't. I'm telling you, even if they were already in her home with all this going on in CPS, I'm telling you, CPS is absolutely involved, and even with the mother. And I don't know that she's doing fostering, but I'm sure that they're involved.
Oh, I'm sure they are too.
Yeah.
It's sad. All around, it's just sad.
It is really sad, actually. It is. I mean, and I know it must suck. I feel bad for him in this position, but at the same time, I also, we, like you said, knew something was going on with them and stuff. Wish they would have taken the opportunity to fix it before it got to this point, but hopefully, like they make the right decision and just like be honest. Honesty is the best way to go because the truth always comes out, especially in this community.
The truth or something similar to it.
Oh, well, yeah.
Speaking of, did you see Chasing's post today about Carl? Holy shit.
Chasing Truth?
Yeah.
She was in the back chat saying a bunch of stuff, and she wanted to make some things clear. I am sure that she is going to White Knight for Cam and Allie.
Yeah, because she was saying in the chat, I that this shouldn't be on YouTube and stuff. I just ignored it because Chasing. Do you really think nobody's going to talk about this? I mean, come on.
No, it's fair to talk about this.
Yeah. See, this is what happens. That's another enabling behavior is when people, oh, you shouldn't talk about it. Yeah, maybe it will, make them hit rock bottom and change. And
Well,
and usually does not help at all. It's actually, I know it's what you naturally want to do as a parent or with your loved one and stuff is you don't want to see them like struggle and stuff, and but sometimes it's just the best thing to let them sit in jail for a few days. let them figure this out. And maybe this will be too horrible, the most horrible situation, this horrible enough for them to change, do something. Get their kids back. Yeah, for the who's that country girl? I know, right? That is true. I know. But I just don't like chasing's always the one that goes around like doing that. Like every time, like it's just like it's okay chasing. I like her and stuff, but like I'm not.
She's kind of like the YouTube what you put out information on the Wells police.
Yeah.
Like
And
if you're going to put it, you got to go through Chase. You got to check with her. You got to fact check. You got to re-fact check, and then you better check it again. Because if you didn't check it, don't put it out there because it ain't fact. And all she wants is facts. Beyond that, you don't know.
Yeah,
anything.
but yet she was friends with Tiffany and Marie. Like
I know.
Anyways.
I mean, it's just whatever. She's crazy. Not crazy like a crazy person. Just crazy like funny. Haha. Crazy.
I usually like listening to her. She's pretty intelligent, but sometimes
She is
she's
really
not
smart
very
and she
entitled
knows a lot.
sometimes.
And she's a good debater, and I like that about her. But she really doesn't have to come at everybody all the time and try to make it, smooth it, fix it, stitch it up.
Yeah, I appreciated at least that she didn't come on panel, and I appreciated her actually in the chat she didn't say anything rude. She just in the private chat she was just showing the law and stuff. So,
Yeah.
she didn't try anything, so that's cool.
She's not a horrible person at
She doesn't
all.
go after people like that usually. All
I
right,
don't
guys,
like-
I'm gonna go.
Have a good night.
All right, good night, everybody.